The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Stop! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people. And welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. This program starts now. Football! It is wonderful. The NFL wrapped up its Week 14 slate last night in Jerry World as Joe Burrow put on a show and beat the Dallas Cowboys. The Bengals now with 5 wins hold the phone. Are they eyeing a super wild card spot for wild card weekend? And if Joe Burrow gets into the playoffs, we all know anything can happen, especially if they play offensively like they did last night. Jamar Chase is all over the place. Chase Brown is going bananas. T. Higgins now, if you hear what Joe Burrow said afterwards, thinks that he's not only on the Bengals now, doing shit for the Bengals now, but he's going to be back in the future. Special teams flub happens for the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, that's a tough position to be in whenever you sign a guy about 2 days before, the game, and he's probably never played a special. Burp, can't touch that. Okay, since it's past the line of scrimmage, it is still considered a forward punt. So once the receiving team touches it, boom, that thing is a live ball. And obviously, people are told that a lot of times in meetings from special teams coaches and in practices, but until it's a live action, live bullets, and you may have never played a special team snap before in your entire life, and it can all get a little confusing. Wait, it's blocked, so it's a blocked punt, so we can scoop and score this thing. It's a live punt as soon as it leaves the line of scrimmage or gets past the line of scrimmage. And, Cincinnati Bengals kicker Cade York had a girlfriend who is a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. We learned that. Oh. And a punter had a blocked punt that ended up winning them the game. So special teams all over the place for the Cincinnati Bengals, and Bones right there, who is a phenomenal special teams coach. I think everybody would say that. It's been highly noted. His celebration to, we just schemed up a blocked punt whenever we are a tie ball game here in the fourth with a backup quarterback, we're going to win. To, worst decision ever made. Why'd you even touch that thing? Peter, where's everybody petering this entire thing? Old buddy was trying to make a play. Was he going to scoop and score that thing?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Is he going to scoop and score that thing?
Out of the way.
Yeah, I don't know what he thought it was going to happen, but obviously a mistake. Hopefully he'll learn from going forward. And then Joe Burrow would obviously take advantage. Jamar Chase, who is also Maggie on The Simpsons, one cut off and running. Congrats to the Bengals on a big run.
Bengals.
It was the Joe Show, has been the Joe Show for a long time over there. His outfit going in last night to Jerry World lived up to the hype. A lot of stripes.
Clean.
Very clean. Very.
That
guy looks cool. Guy looks super cool right there.
That's what that is, yeah.
Jawline phenomenal, too, when he's talking. And the hair is just like, he's got these calyx, and I got them as well. Mine are not as cool as his are just cool.
Sweet.
And whenever he goes bananas on a football field, it is fun to watch. He is now, making history, obviously, and there's stats for everything in this world. Joe Burrow is the fourth quarterback to have 300 pass yards and 3 passing touchdowns in at least 4 consecutive games. Wow, this stat was presented earlier, I think, on another show. These other two here. Burrow's QBR this season, 74.1, would be the highest in a season by a quarterback who doesn't make the playoff in the history of the stat. That's since 2006. So this is kind of what everybody's talking about whenever it's like Joe Burrow deserved a win at the end of that game, because Joe Burrow has been having this historic season. Joe Burrow has accounted for 78% of Cincinnati's offense this season by net yardage at the end. That leads the NFL, obviously. Almost 80%, one guy. Doesn't make it happen in this entire thing. And he has started 72 games, including playoffs, and has had a 100-yard rusher with him 8 times only. So at the end of that game, I think a lot of people said, I think commentators even were saying, like, good for the Bengals. They finally get one of these. I think it's more so like good for Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow has to be the leader of that team, so he can't find any happiness in these games that they lose. But the way he's been playing, the way this offense has been playing, and the way they've been able to lose the games that they've lost, it is good for the Bengals. And now they're lurking. Now they're in the hunt.
Oh, yeah.
Now can Lou Anarumo in that defense get enough stops whenever they need to move forward? They were certainly able to against the Cowboys last night and Cooper Kush. And not a bad Monday Night Football game. Let's go to the Talks Table at Boss Connor and at Ty Schmidt. I know both of you tuned into the Simpsons edition of it.
You know it.
Ty, what were your thoughts on it? And then, Con Man, I would like yours as well.
Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, Dan Orlovsky just crushing it. Mina Kimes, a Simpsons super fan, and then Drudel. You know, you couldn't have asked for a better booth. The zaniness, you know, I mean, I'm watching it, and the first thing I see is, are those strawberry frosted donuts for the uprights?
Oh, yeah, they were?
And they were, you know, and then just, what was it, the first drive of the game? Homer Simpson dropping back on fourth down. I don't think it was this play, but Homer Simpson drops back on fourth down and throws an absolute seed to CD Lamb.
Yeah.
I mean, it was neat, you know. Would I want to watch a whole football game like this? Holy shit, no, I wouldn't.
Whoa.
Very hard to watch game.
It is.
It was very hard to watch game. I didn't expect it to not be as much football as it was. And, like, they were playing football.
Without a doubt.
But it was very hard to actual watch football game here.
Exactly. And I almost, like, forgot that, like, I can. So, like, when you see CD Lamb, like, catch and then gets tackled and then his body just slides, like, 17 yards, I was like, okay, I should go back and see, like, actually
Did he slide?
Yeah, like, what happened
like
there?
Chase Brown there. Chase Brown on the little swing was Maggie, and she skirts in for a touchdown. He literally trampolined into that Salvation Army kettle.
Yes. Yeah.
His jump into that thing was one of the most impressive base jumps I've seen in a long, long time. And then they took it away because they called it out of bounds. They took his celebration away from him. He's not going to be able to do that. Yeah, watch it. Do we have it all the way? Do we have it all the way?
Yes.
Look at this guy. Boom. Look out. He almost overshot it. This guy almost overshot. Couldn't even celebrate.
Yep. Ball.
Couldn't even celebrate. Get the hell out of there. Okay, you stepped out of bounds. You dipshit. That's what the ref said. And then we watched the replays back. It's like, somehow he did not actually.
Absurd.
And all the angles had like the perfect string of green in between the cleat and the sideline. What a touchdown, what a moment. But then Maggie, she just ran.
Yeah.
She just ran into there, so you didn't know where she was going. Had to go over to the other side, see it. And then there was the Manning cast as well.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I didn't get to see Legend on her. Was he playing?
Yeah, he was.
He was playing. That's one half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys AP tone. I saw Chris Collinsworth tell the story about the slide-in, the infamous slide-in. Al Michaels had in his contract that he is the first minute of Sunday Night Football. So Chris Collinsworth had to actually get out of the camera contractually, and that's how it started.
What?
Yeah, he told that story last
Pretty
night on
cool.
the Manning cast. He was like, it started with me basically just being bent over a table like this here, and then just standing up. That's how it started. So then I guess whenever there's a little bit bigger booth, you know, some of these stadiums have a bigger booth, and some of them are real small and crappy kind of actually. And then these new stadiums have bigger ones. So then he was in a chair out of the frame, and then he would come sliding in at 61 seconds into the
Perfect. Wow.
right into the thing. Yeah, so he told that story on Manning-Cast, so that was good. We had a good night of football, it feels like.
Yeah.
Let's go to 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler.
Yes,
D-Buck.
sir. Nobody had a better night than Jamar Chase.
How'd you feel about the game? Yeah, let's talk about
I
it.
mean, good game. I felt good about my Cooper Kush pick in the first quarter, but obviously the Joe Burrow and that offense has been absolutely phenomenal. You see all year long why, quarterback, wins aren't really a stat. It's a team stat. Burrow's been phenomenal, but Jamar Chase obviously came into the season trying to get a contract done. Watching him last night, watching him all season long, he is on the path, obviously, for a triple crown, leading in catches, leading in touchdowns, leading in yards. I mean, he's just so good. He's probably going to hold him hostage and tell him, hey, I want Soto money. I'm not coming in at the market, mid-30s.
He should.
I want a
Give me what
suite at
Soto
the stadium,
got.
too.
Give me a blank check. I mean, watching him, like, obviously he's in the conversation for, best receiver in the league right now, but if you see his trajectory from starting in the league, him and Justin Jefferson, obviously, like, they could be in the conversation when it's all said and done to be, one of the greatest of all time. You're talking about Jamar Chase for sure.
Shout out LSU, obviously becoming a wide receiver university there for a good bit. Jamar Chase is phenomenal. Remember, this is without a training camp, basically. This is like, this is all happening. Remember, the offseason, he has 2 years left on his deal, this one, and then next year, he said he wanted money because the wide receiver market was going through the roof, and we don't know how long that's going to happen, but Jamar Chase was sitting at home, and he saw a lot of receivers that he was better than, making 20x what he was making. Actually going to be 20x what he was making in his contract. So he said, nah, that ain't going to happen. And we all knew that Cincinnati Bengals are probably not going to budge on that, because that's Mike Brown football. He is the owner of the team. They just decided to sell the naming rights of their stadium so that they can profit off of that. Like,
smart.
They view it as, here's your contract, okay? You play out your contract. We're playing football here, okay? This is a football team. This is a football business. Well, we need like a scouting department that everybody else. Oh, you don't want to do it, coach? You don't want to?
Oh, okay.
We want football people here. So they've always been in a fashion where it's a little cheaper.
Sure.
But I feel like more focus on just we're football, ball. So whenever he says with 2 years left, I want a new deal, everybody around Cincinnati that knows them are like, that's not going to happen.
Jamar.
That is not at the Bengals. Anywhere else, maybe. He might have been able to get a deal in some places. Let's say 15 of the teams in the NFL would have given him a deal, especially because of how important he is to it all. But I think everybody thought, no chance here. T. Higgins franchise tag. Joe says he thinks he's going to be around going forward. It's like, I don't know how the Bengals will do it, if the Bengals will do it, but if they're able to keep this crew together, you are talking not only Jamar Chase being, you might talk about the best, trio in offensive juggernaut history.
It'll be hard to keep. I know Joe wants him there, but it'll be tough to keep him there. Once again, once Jamar gets what he gets, which is obviously well deserved, T. Higgins is one of the best number twos out there. A lot of people see him as a one really playing in that number two position on the opposite side of Jamar. But it'd be tough to keep that crew together, especially with Joe Burrow being paid. Didn't he get paid off after his third year?
Yeah,
so
year left.
So some people may have thought that Jamar would have been in that conversation as well with being how good he is, because that cap is only going up. That number's only going up. So it'd be tough to keep that crew together, especially with seeing all the deficiencies on the defensive side of the ball that they need to fill in to actually be contenders.
Yeah. If they end up paying everybody and they build that indoor bubble and then they sell the thing, what if Cincinnati Bengals are for real for the next 15 years? But they're going to have to figure out that defense.
Got to.
Yep, that's who Joe should be saying money should go to, probably.
No, I mean, they can go 8-9 and have all of them stay.
I mean,
It'd be cool.
The offense is doing just fine, okay? Whether Jamar, whether T's there or not, the offense is going to be fine with Jamar and Joe. Defense, they need a little bit.
I think T. Higgins deserves a little bit more respect.
No, I agree.
New England's going to give him $35 million.
Yeah, T. Higgins, hell of a ball player, but you're saying
great ball player.
You're saying they don't have to pay $25-30 million for a T. Higgins wide receiver in that particular room.
Yes.
Going to have to keep Jamar Chase. Who knows what he's going to get paid? So you paying T. Higgins probably before you end up having to pay Jamar Chase, how much money are we giving from one to give to the other in the wide receiver room is what you're saying.
Yeah, what I'm saying. And what I'm actually saying is the offense is going to be fine as long as Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase is there. The other wide receivers, while T is amazing, T's going to be a great Steeler, okay? He's going to do the Patrick Queen. He's going to come from a division rival. He's going to be a Steeler. He's going to be unbelievable. The Bengals offense doesn't necessarily need T. He had 2 catches last night.
Yeah, agreed. But he opened up things for Jamar Chase.
Sure.
That's what happens whenever you have 2 good wide receivers. You need to have 1 great tight end and 1 great wide receiver, or you need to have 2 great wide receivers, or you need 2 great tight ends because 6 eyes can't be on 1 guy.
Yeah,
it has to be able to go other places. Speaking of eyes, for some reason, this guy's Simpsons eyes were just all over the place.
Yeah, a little Google.
Did him a disservice.
All over the place. His Simpsons character,
Who was that?
I don't know if they mailed it in or not.
It wasn't him.
But I'll tell you what, he did a fantastic job. We're happy as hell that he got the opportunity to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the program, ESPN authority on everything, Dan Orlovsky. Dan, when they debuted your Simpson to you, I think you were on TV, and I think you thought you were actually Droodle. And turns out you were the other one that didn't look anything like you. What was your first reaction whenever you saw, like when people get a statue and the face looks nothing like? Was that your reaction, or you just, hey, happy to be here, happy to be Orlovsky for one evening?
Dude, I felt like Fitzy does with that commercial with him and Chris Thompson. Yeah, the statue thing. So I didn't love the representation. I know I have a big nose and big eyes and big ears, but I felt that was a little extreme. Also, I was not naive to the fact of where they placed me on the field. It is, literally where I stepped out against Minnesota. So I don't think that was by accident, but it was cool. All good experience, man.
Well, you did a great job. Can you take us, if it means anything, you got buried by The Simpsons. I got buried by Art But Sports.
Yep.
Did you see that?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
With Timmy.
Oh, my God. I got absolutely murdered. It was an honor. It was an honor to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And people are saying that is a good art but sports. It's Jesus healing the lame and the blind. And Timothy Chalamet has his hand on my head pretty much, just like Jesus does on the lame and the blind. So, like, I got fucking murdered in that one.
What?
Yeah, just absolutely kicked in the
From
piece.
Game Day?
No, from Art But Sports, who is very sophisticated, obviously has a great depth in the art world and sports world, and I'm a fan of the account, which is why charges to the game. Lucky to be the lame and the blind in that. It was an honor to be a part of it, but that's how you probably felt with how The Simpsons kind of portrayed you. Now let's talk about the actual go here. I saw you wearing the Apple, I think.
Apple Vision.
The Apple
Pro.
Vision. Remember, that was supposed to be everybody on Earth.
I haven't seen one of those since they dropped.
Since
Yeah,
it came out.
the Simpsons actually predicted that that's what everybody was going to look like with the entire thing. So when they dropped, everybody thought it was going to go. I've never put those on. What was it like? Did it feel like you were in Adams Stadium or whatever you guys were calling it? Did you feel like you were there? And how was the process of the delay, right? Because you guys were on quite a delay, so we would go over. Did you know, just take us through how it all worked, please?
Yeah, so the goggles, when you put them on, when we had them on, it felt like anybody who's ever done VR, it felt like you were in it. It felt like, and they even had moments when they would put us into the vision of like Bart, or put us as the offensive line or whatnot, or allow the program to show that. So yeah, when you had the goggles on, you felt very much so kind of like you were in the scene and in the moment. We didn't wear the goggles that much, though. A couple of reasons. Like, one, we were not in the same rooms, because at ESPN on campus, they have these basically, let's call them 10 by 10 rooms that are built with green screens for these things. There's like 8 of them or something that fill a corridor. So, we were each in our own individual room, me, Drew, and Mina. So we would, when we had the goggles on, we could not see each other. So you can't call a game and have no way of communicating verbally and non-verbally. So more often than not, we didn't have the goggles. The only time we had the goggles on was when we were actually seen, like when we were, pregame or something, or they had us in the end zone one time. They had us at the end of the game. So in those moments, you just figured it out. You couldn't see each other, but you just kind of played it kind of by feel. So we didn't wear the goggles that much. I would say we watched this, what you're seeing on your screen, for 95+% of the game. Just to kind of be in the moment and kind of talk about what people were seeing at home. We had 2 monitors. One had the Simpsons broadcast on our right, and the left was the actual game with Troy and Joe Buck calling it and whatnot. There was a delay of probably, I think, 15 or 20 seconds. That's kind of, we knew, when Homer came in the game, or Lisa or Bart came in the game, that they were going to be a part of the play. So that's kind of like how there was a little bit of a tip-off of like, oh, they're in the game, something's going to happen.
You look super cool there. I think you still should have wore a suit to respect.
Come on, Dan.
Kind of messed up.
Kind of the NFL and everything like that. But, you do what you gotta do. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the 16th hour of the workday. So I was just trying to survive at that moment.
We appreciate you, dude.
Thrive.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
Now, what was your research on The Simpsons? Because there were some people saying you don't know ball, which I think is very rude, because I heard you on the Sportsmanlike show. We don't know anybody over there, do we?
No, not really.
Who said I don't know ball?
No. Some people were saying you don't
Simpsons
know.
ball.
Simpsons ball. Some people were saying that. But I heard you say you were a 90s kid. Eat my shorts, you'd say to kids. Obviously, shout out Bart, when you were growing up. Did they give you some Simpsons lines to read, or how did you do your Simpsons research?
Yeah, I grew up, I don't want to say like I was a Simpsons super fan, but I grew up because, again, being a 90s kid, definitely watching The Simpsons, so I'd known of it decently. The writers gave us probably 4 pages of kind of bullet points of, Springfield, which is where the game is, the stadium, all the characters, one-liners, catchphrases that are notorious with the show. And so that definitely refreshed your memory a little bit. I kind of watched probably 6 or 8 episodes over the last couple days leading into Monday that had something to do with like football or whatnot. So try to refresh my mind as much as possible. I tried to, that was the big focus, was to to weave Simpsons into football and football into the Simpsons and whatnot. So, but there was a lot from the writers to help us.
Hey, I think you did a great job.
Oh, yeah, Dan.
And you know how the
man.
Simpsons
Thank you.
predict the future so often?
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that they had the UFO dropping the ball in, just so that whenever we look back on this like 15, 20 years from now, you're going to say, remember the Simpsons, they did a football game and what they had going on. I assume there's subliminal messages all over that thing telling what's going to happen in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Do aliens know Paul?
I do. I assume that is the case. That is one of the Simpsons things, is they just predict the future. So there's something going Maybe donut uprights are a thing.
That'd
Could be.
sweet.
Everybody's laughing at it now. There's a chance that...
Couple doinks.
Exactly. There's a chance that happens. And the NFL, if Duncan wants to come in with the right number, I think maybe we could put some donuts on the upright.
No doubt.
I think we could do that. What are your thoughts on the game? Did you get to watch the actual game back after doing the Simpsons stuff? You watched the film, I assume. Joe Burrow, there's a bunch of records. Hembo sent us the same that I assume you saw as well. Phenomenal. This guy is absolutely unbelievable. Now, can the defense live up and for them to go on an actual run? They're lurking currently. They are in the hunt for a wild card spot. But going forward, what do you think of this Bengals team, and what did you learn last night?
Yeah, I don't think they'll get into the playoffs because you need both the Colts and the Broncos to essentially fall apart, and a little bit of the Dolphins. I think going forward, obviously the massive questions are they going to keep T, and how long will the holdout last out of Jamar? Jamar is going to be the most expensive non-quarterback in the history of the NFL, rightfully so. So there's really no issues with the offense. Do they make changes in Cincinnati? I think it's hard to sit here and think of a offense quarterback receiver combination being this freaking unbelievable and them not getting into the playoffs. You guys know the league. If that happens, probably a change gets made. I don't know where. And I think how can they rebuild the defensive roster? It's just the defense doesn't have to be great. It just has to not be really bad. And it's been really bad for this season. So I think part of you in Cincinnati feels unbelievable that he came back from the wrist injury and he's remarkable, and you've got all those pieces in place that at least it feels like it, but the defense is going to have to get significantly better for them to kind of really feel like they can contend again. A lot of close losses, but it's not a Super Bowl caliber roster.
Okay, and on the other side for the Dallas Cowboys, how did you guys cover Micah walking off with 7 seconds left? Did you guys put like Krusty over there?
We didn't do anything. Nah, we didn't do. Because right when the game got done, they had already taped all that stuff. There was an ending of like Homer waking up from the dream and whatnot and going to SVP. We didn't. We were just paying attention to what was going on with Micah more than covering it live, type of thing.
That's a wild scene down there in Dallas.
Not good.
That's
not good.
I mean, just
not good.
Should have won the game. I mean, probably wins the game.
Sure.
If a guy who just got signed to the active roster literally a few days ago doesn't make the fatal flaw of not petering. Hey, we're trying to peter.
Come on.
He's not petering.
No.
Both these teams are kind of in the same spot, though. Like when you think about it, the Cowboys are on the verge.
Pick it up.
Thumbs up. Hell yeah, you just gave a thumbs up. Sorry, go ahead, though. Both of them in the same spot. I was talking.
You're good.
No, you're good.
Can't believe you did that. That was the last time I've seen that was the Leon Lett against the Dolphins like 30 years ago type of thing. They're kind of both in the same spots, though. Like, if you think about the Cowboys, they've paid Dak, they've paid CD, they're going to pay Micah. I think it's almost impossible to pay 3 people number 1 money or top 3 money and field a really good roster. The Bengals paid Joe. They paid Trey Hendrickson. I know he wants more money. Leading this league in sacks probably commands that as well. They're going to pay Jamar. So how are these rosters with all that money allocated to the more than likely 3 dudes going to actually contend with, rosters across in their conferences? Like the Commanders roster next year is going to be awesome because they're going to be cheap. The Eagles roster, because Roseman's unbelievable. The Vikings roster is going to be loaded. The Packers roster is going to be loaded. I think that's going to be the challenge. They're both kind of in the same spot.
Okay, well, hopefully they're able to figure it all out. We have faith. Good luck out there. Good luck. And Big Mike, remember, you can join our show if you have to.
That's right.
Next year. We'd love to give you a spot on this entire thing. Let's talk about teams that are at the top but are in the middle of a wild scene. The Brandon Graham Show, which airs on WIP, which is local sports radio in Philadelphia, took place last night. And this was his response to the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts comments that happened once again after a win against the Carolina Panthers this past weekend.
the person that's complaining need to be accountable. And I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he know this. He, you know, I don't know the whole story, but I know that one is trying. And I mean, 11 could be a little better with how he respond to things. And they was friends before this. It's like, man, but things have changed, and I understand that because life happens. But it's the business side that we have to make sure that we don't let the personal get in the way of the business, and that's what we got to do better as right now, because we know it's an issue. Everybody's seeing some things, but we need to be able to talk things out as men. You know what I'm saying? But we need to let personal stuff go and let's get right for this game, because, man, it's like a lot of stuff, most of the time it's just a conversation that just need to be had, but the person with the problem got to want to talk to the person other than others. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so a little bit of drama.
I have not heard that version.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is that on WIP? Is it called WIP or WIP? I don't know. You're in that area.
I think it's WIP.
Okay, WIP. Very, very important to the sports fabric of Philadelphia. There are some of these old school sports towns where local sports talk still very much carries weight. Oh, yeah. WIP is one of them. So much so that this morning, Coach Sirianni joined WIP. Oh, and this is what he had to say about the situation. This is real. This is real.
Nick, how concerned are you that infighting on your team could cause an unraveling similar to 2023?
I think what you know, again, there's going to be speculation of what things look like because you guys don't have let's be honest, you guys don't have all the information.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
You don't get to see it on a daily basis. All I can judge this on, and this is very similar to, when people were asking me about Jalen and I's relationship or whatever it was. Like all I can judge things on is what I see on a daily basis. When I see, AJ and Jalen communicating about the game plan, eating lunch together every single day, praying with each other before the game. There's going to be speculation, and I get it, I get it, rightfully so, based on what's happened the last couple of days. But all you can do is judge what you see. I have more information. I see them every single day. I see what's going on in the building. And so you just have to, to me, we know what there's going to be noise, and I get, and I obviously get it, just based off of what's happened here in the last couple of days. But I go on my daily relationships with these guys, with myself. I go on the daily relationships that I see every single day that these guys spend 7 hours. Like, you guys get to see 3 hours of it every day, and then a little bit after. Every week and a little bit. I get to see 7 or 8 hours of it every day.
Okay, and Brandon Graham also walked back some of his comments, obviously. How do you feel about the whole situation? Anytime anything's getting talked about, obviously it's not good. It's drama, it's controversy. But it feels like that is this Philadelphia Eagles team for one reason or another. They win and people are still pissed. They beat the Carolina Panthers. Devontae Smith has a touchdown. Him and A.J. Brown talk about then the passing's a problem. Then Sirianni's got to go in and say, hey, these guys are praying together before every single game, hanging out, eating lunch together. What are your thoughts on it all, Dano, and what are your expectations for this Eagles team?
Yeah, so I think Brandon Graham's, listen, where there's smoke, there's fire. We know that. He can walk back, and BG's as good of a person as I've ever met, and everyone raves about him as a locker room person and a leader, but he's not saying that out of nothing. There's got to be something there, because that would be abnormal just to float out there. I think the second thing is this. Everyone is going, well, the Eagles' passing game is broken. I would disagree with that. It wasn't good Sunday. I don't think Jalen saw the field well Sunday. I don't know why. I don't think that the Eagles' pass game is going to be one that lights up the middle of the field. I don't believe that that's the strength of Jalen Hurts. But I do know this. We could have seen this coming in a way when it comes to the lack of opportunity for A.J. Brown. The fascinating thing is this. A.J. Brown, yards per catch, is having the second best season of his career. His rookie year, I think he averaged 20 yards per catch. He's at 17 and a half right now. The difference is, in his last 2 years in Philly, he's had 150 targets. Right now, I think he has something like 65. So he gets a ton of less of opportunity because of the addition of Saquon. they're not going to throw the ball as much as they did. In the past, they would come out. You guys noticed they would throw the ball. It felt like every play to start a game. And they would try to get the lead, and then the defense would chase the court. They're just playing differently. So, he's getting less opportunity, but he's making more of those opportunities. I don't think the Eagles' pass game is broken. At some point, you got to play single coverage. At some point, you got to play AJ one-on-one. And I think the big thing, if you're Sirianni, Kellen Moore, you're going to Jalen and be like, hey, when we get one-on-one, AJ gets the ball. Like you're throwing the ball to that guy. You're gonna force the football to him. I also watched last year early on in games when they weren't getting one-on-one, they would force the ball to AJ and try to make sure that they got him the ball. They can't do that. They can't force it. I don't think it's as big of a deal play-wise as it's getting made out to be on the field as far as X's and O's football-wise.
The personal stuff, though, that Brandon Graham said, and like the business and the personal stuff, it's like, well, sounds like something. They were friends, and Sirianni's like they're still friends, but I think what Brandon Graham said something had to have something.
Yep. Life happens.
Life happens. Yeah, what is that? Because that has happened to take down the locker room before.
There's that personal stuff.
There has been
It's life.
There's been a lot of those things that have happened. Life happens.
Sad.
Humans.
A Lombardi's more important than any of it when you look back on it.
That's right.
Never forget it, boys over there. Never forget it. Never forget it over there in Philly. Because those Johns are watching. That's why sports talk is so important, because they're paying attention to fucking everything that's taking place.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's wild that they continue to win
They're
over
psychopaths.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Fanatical?
from there.
You mean like the term fan? Fanatic? Is that what you're talking about?
They're nutcases.
Fanatics, you're saying like Philly.
They're fanatics, yeah. But I feel like at least the ones I've met, they're passionate. Let's say that.
All of them, which is
Trying to win.
yeah, but like when they win, they're still.
There's not a whole lot of people who would eat horse shit off the street when their team wins the Super Bowl.
Philly does.
That's right.
And that's why we love them. I mean, absolutely love it. It stinks for them that the Flyers have just been so bad for so long.
And the Sixers.
The Sixers are a whole nother conversation. I couldn't even fathom how Philly people feel about the way that's.
They're done with it.
That's the process.
Done with it.
Oh my God! They don't trust the process over there. They would like to believe in winning now, and that is their expectation. What's that John that has the tattoos?
That blew his knee
guy
out.
blew his knee out.
Yeah,
Kelsey.
chest bump.
Yeah.
I mean, like that thing exists. I think in a lot of
Yes.
All over.
Shout out to Philly. What a great sports city. But I couldn't imagine playing or coaching there. Couldn't imagine playing or coaching there. Good luck to them. All right, let's move along here for our NFL conversation. We haven't had a chance to chat with you. We've seen you on all of our TVs. Great work this year. You've done great.
Keep it going, Dan.
Thank you. I have some bones to pick with people on your show, but we'll get to that.
We will get to that.
Hell yeah.
Before we get to that, well, who do you have bones to pick with? We'd love to hear it.
Ty and Tone.
Ty and Tone.
What
okay,
I do?
Connor, out of the.
I love you.
Okay, all right. Who? Let's.
Connor's the most liked guy in the show.
Okay,
That's not true. We know that.
well, I like. Yep, thank you, Foxy.
It is.
Let's go ahead and
If we
if we can get a split screen on the boys here too with
Those
Orlovsky.
guys make me so mad. They make me so mad when they tweet at me.
What?
They make me so angry.
Who
dude.
tweeted first, Dan?
You.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I put out the Steph Curry night when the Steelers lost to the Browns? Because that was a personal shot.
I didn't tweet directly at you.
You might as
Yeah,
well.
you might as
You
well.
might as well.
It was him and Jage is who you were pointing that out to. You know it. We know.
Dan, you could say whatever you want about the Steelers. What you said about them kicking field goals, I couldn't agree more with. But as soon as you put out that night Steph Curry tweet, that was a personal attack, and you knew it was coming back.
It wasn't. First of all, I didn't even reference the Steelers.
You knew it. It was.
Oh,
as soon as it
okay,
came in.
Dan.
You're making an assumption.
Okay.
You're making an assumption.
You're lying.
And second of all, you're making an assumption.
Jesus is watching you right now. I will have you know, and listening.
He knows.
I didn't say it wasn't about the Steelers. I didn't say
Okay.
it was about
All right,
the Steelers.
Jesus, thank God Jesus
But you
is
made
coming.
an assumption, and you directly tweeted at me to start a fire. And then Ty, when
You deserved it.
both you guys pissed me off.
I had to, Dan. My hands were tied. I didn't have a choice. I didn't tweet
So
at
Ty-
you.
Correct. You just quite literally used my name.
Yeah.
When Ty did his Coach Sirianni thing, I just want to get your facts straight. Isn't this isn't journalistic standards?
We have the bottom line.
Yeah, it is. Journalistic
Isn't
standards.
it journalistic standards?
Yeah, that's why we had the source on that had the bottom headlines about him for 3 weeks. This guy's a big dumb dipshit. Dan, explain why. Let me break down why this guy stinks. The guy that I don't think is good in Philadelphia, all sports, all people, Nick Sirianni. And they continue to win and win and win. Next headline.
I got so many calls that day when Ty did that. So many calls from people being like, why do you hate Philly? What happened? I didn't know you hated Sirianni. People from – I don't.
And I felt bad about that.
I had a coach call me and be like, hey, he's my favorite coach I've ever worked for. Like, some of the things you say about him, the rhetoric really stings. And I'm like, God bless. I'm like, send me his number. I'll call him to apologize.
Well, there you go.
Well, Dan, I'm happy. Look, that's journalism.
Helping you mend fences.
Look at us. Journalistic standards. Thank you for making our case.
On the back.
Well, I'm just, listen.
It was. We kind of did it. Hey, good for us, boys. Hey, D-Bunch.
That went sideways. That went sideways.
Anytime, Dan.
First of all, Ty, you said my record's 3-23. I didn't even start 26 games.
No, hey, listen.
I'm trying to give you a little bit more credibility, is what he's saying.
And I went right off Google. I just said, what is Dan Orlovsky? So I don't know if that was games you took a snap in or what. Sure. And again, when an impersonation is involved, that's not me saying it. So I really can't, I can't shoulder any of that blame, unfortunately.
Blood boil, man.
And you made it personal with me, so
blood boil.
It's his art, okay?
Yeah.
It's Ty's art. I didn't know that you weren't a fan of artists doing their thing.
Whoa.
And for Tone, whenever you did that night thing, buddy, all of Pittsburgh was like, okay, we hate this guy.
No doubt.
To be honest, the Simpsons creator might have been a Yinzer. Like the guy that created your...
That would make more sense.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And it was because of that night thing after you took the big long stance and said all your shit you said, I think.
What you
people
say?
in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia hate me.
Listen, what you say on TV, Dan, that's all good and fun because, we do that here too and whatever. As soon as you put out that tweet.
Go to Twitter.
Yep.
All right, well, happy we mended all these fences.
To tweet that one out,
That was
man.
cool.
See?
I was so happy to tweet it out.
But now you've learned that it was a mistake and everything like that,
No subtweeting over here, Dan. They taking straight shots, calling you out. You got to respect that at least.
Ty Schmidt.
Ty, Tone, at Dan O, or, into the camera so they
that
don't play
makes
the
me
sub.
even more mad, D-Bud.
You got to respect.
What?
You got to respect the straight shots.
I don't know why. I do, but it makes me more angry.
Okay,
I don't know why.
you think it's because, and there's a lot of people that subliminally, or I guess, take shots at us.
Correct.
Too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the person that assumes it's all directly at us. You say, oh, that could be about somebody else if the name isn't said, right? Is that why?
No, I assume it's directly at me. I assume it's indirectly at me. Like, I always think it's me. But if you're not going to address it, doesn't bother me if you don't actually say it about me. Once you say it about me, then that, like.
Because then the people that don't know who it could potentially be know that it is you.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I didn't even think about that. Think about that. Because, like, subliminally, it's about you. Okay? You eat that, and we feel a certain way. But now every single person knows that it's also about you. When your name might not have popped up in their mind. Okay. Got it.
That's fair.
That is fair. I never thought of that.
Kind of smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a good play.
Yeah.
It's like how you don't talk about the competition ever because some people don't even know the competition exists. So why would you even talk about it? People say that in the entire thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Sun Tzu taught me art of war, brother. That's how it goes.
So I don't think just stating what you're doing is...
No, that's how it starts. That's how the book starts. Art of War. That's how it goes.
Just say exactly directly to the person's face what you're thinking?
Chapter 2.
Wow. Rest in peace to Shinzu. He's dead.
Sure.
He is.
He is, yeah.
But he lives on.
Forever.
And ever. He is...
He's dead.
He is.
Rest in peace.
I found that out last year. He's been dead for a long, long time, Shinzu. I thought maybe we were going to get another art.
We might.
Is the dog named after that? Shih Tzu?
I don't think just sounding like things is how naming after people are, but maybe.
It's possible. Certainly possible.
Maybe. All right, I'm happy we've mended fences and we did journalism.
Well, yeah.
We did journalism.
No, fences are mended. No, the fences are mended. Fences are mended.
That's nice.
Just make sure it's not 3-23, Ty, and make sure people know, like, I was a Triple Crown winner in Little League. No big deal.
Dan, you almost won the Heisman.
Yeah, I was on EA Sports cover in college. Motor City Bowl MVP.
No big deal.
Ever heard of it?
First bowl
It's a
game in school
prominent
history.
trophy.
First bowl game in school history?
First bowl game in UConn.
MVP trophy of it.
Cover of
Threw
Sports
the second
Illustrated.
most touchdowns ever to Calvin Johnson in his career. I don't know if that's accurate, but I'm just making it up.
You don't need to make stuff up. The reality is enough.
Right.
Dano, you were a dog. Absolutely.
Look at those cabinets, man. Come on.
Yeah, you don't earn those pure, white, creamy cabinets that I assume. Are those push in and they pop open, or what are those?
No, those are just your traditional pull-open cabinet thingamajiggies.
Sterling.
Do you have an ice maker in there?
Good coffee.
No ice maker. We have an ice maker over there.
Wow. So, yes, ice maker.
It's got that crown molding back there, too.
Yeah,
that is not crown molding. It's very
Is that
nice.
fine, China? Top right?
Yeah, over to the right there. Can you lick it and then do the thing and it?
The recessed lighting is.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Beautiful recessed lighting as well.
Yeah. There's no fine china here, dude.
Yeah, there is right there, brother.
I see it.
You love China.
What's that? Is that just?
That's wine glasses.
Oh, the crystal.
Okay.
Fine wine,
Can
China.
you do this thing on top of that? Do you do this thing on top of it?
All right, let's try.
Let's see if it's real or not.
Yeah.
What if Dano's got fake ass?
He would never.
Nah, no chance.
So I lift my finger and
I think, yeah, do you have to have something in it, or is it good without it?
I don't know.
Who gave?
No, that's us making the sound, buddy. Jesus Christ.
No. It's working. I swear. I got to take my earbuds out. Hold on. It's working. I got to figure this out.
This guy thinks he's still on The Simpsons right now.
Yeah, put your VR thing on, bub. This is reality.
Okay, ready?
You gotta put him in the
Ready?
case.
Oh, wow. Dan's living that high life. Wow. Atta baby Dano. Wow. Atta baby Dano. Look at you.
What a day.
Wow.
Must be nice.
Holy shit, Dan.
What does that mean? That means it's rich?
Well, it means you are, yeah. That's congratulations. Hey, Dan, congratulations. It means something.
It's done.
It all means something. You've earned it, pal. You've earned it, and we never have, and we know that isn't on football field money that's paying for all that behind you either. It's because of your incredible brain. So whenever Coach Tyriani or Tone Diggs or all of Pittsburgh or all of Philadelphia come after you, remember that whenever you lick your finger and do it on your glasses, that shit hums. Mm-hmm. And you know what it's singing? Congrats, bub. You made it, Dano. You made it.
Well, Dan.
You need to stop taking a swing at every pitch, though. Like, I think we've said that for a few years. Yeah.
I can't not. I feel I can't not.
We know. We've seen that. What we're saying is maybe you can, though. You know, like going forward.
Try it.
Something isn't in, something looks a little high early. It's like just let that thing, let the thing go around the table. And then step back in there.
Take a pitch.
Never take a first pitch strike. Never.
We know. That's what we see. That's what we're saying. You need to maybe just watch one go by.
Why?
Uncoachable.
Like, I don't.
He's always got the golden bat.
You're right.
Always.
Golden bat. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't ever want to be that person on TV.
All right. Well, you're gonna deal with Coach Tyriani and Tone Diggs and Pittsburgh and Philly whenever that's happening. But we all take it on the shins. The fact that you take it on the shins as much as you do is because how much you're on TV. We appreciate your work ethic. Now, speaking of that, you do a lot of film study. You do a lot of projecting. You do a lot of Dan-wagoning. Okay, who do we put the Dan-wagon, the bandwagon behind? And who do we ride? And who do we forget that we put the Dan-wagon on? And who in the end is the one? Now, let's talk about the future, the one. D-Bud has a question for you.
We're about 14, 15 weeks into the season now. These rookie quarterbacks, I just want to know, out of the group that has been playing, obviously with Jaden, his hot start, Bo Nix, and, going down the stretch, who do you project? Drake May obviously been in there as well. Who do you project will be the best going forward, and who has impressed you the most up until this point?
Projecting who I think will be the best going forward, I think Drake May's got the chance to be the most, jaw-dropping, kind of the stuff that we saw from Josh Allen and Matthew Stafford this past Sunday type of stuff, the stuff we've seen from Joe Burrow. A little bit of that is going to be dependent upon kind of what they do around him. I was the person who was like, Drake May shouldn't play meaningful games this year. That offensive line is not good. I was very cautious of putting him out there when they did. He's been unbelievable. I think the stuff that I've been floored with is a lot of the things that
were unknowns of his game in Carolina, kind of the way that he would get through progressions, or could he work the middle of the field a ton, or kind of read full field throws, meaning start from the right and go to the left. He didn't do that at Carolina. It was so RPO-centric, so you didn't know. And then the mechanics have gotten so much cleaner and just making different types of throws, Deepa. Sometimes driving it, sometimes floating it, sometimes pinning it on a guy's back shoulder. Didn't do that a ton at Carolina. I think he's got a chance to be an unbelievable star. I loved what Jaden's done this year. I think the break for them is huge at some point to kind of refresh. I want to see how Cliff kind of continues to evolve the no-huddle offense, but he's been, I still believe it's him and Bo Nix for Rookie of the Year. They need to get another piece opposite Terry at the wide receiver spot. Obviously, New England needs a ton of help. I would love T. Higgins in New England.
Yep.
Bo Nix has been awesome. Bo Nix is probably the most surprising. He's never not. I don't think Bo Nix is going to be bad at many or any points in his career. Sean Payton's been awesome. Davis Webb has been great for him. I think the arm strength, the thing is probably a little bit most surprising. At some points this year, he's been a little bit cautious and check down centric. The last 5 or 6 weeks, it has pushed the ball downfield, be aggressive with it. That's been awesome to watch. Caleb, it's so hard to gauge because the situation has been so bad. There's been moments you've been encouraged, and there's a lot of moments you're like, man, still the same stuff, still the same holding on to the football, still the same shooting for the fences all the time. Not as accurate as you want to be or ball placement centric as you want to be with some of his throws. I don't know I can pin all of that on him.
He gets sacked a lot.
Yeah, he does. Big time.
Guy gets a lot of pressure.
50-something.
Gets a lot of pressure. RG3 told us it's a bad situation Caleb's going into. Need to hold out, go somewhere else. Needs to not be a Chicago Bear. Because although they spent money all around, at skill positions, that offensive line just, what are we doing, boys?
Well, he also has the longest, the most sacks after, 2.5 or 3 seconds?
Yeah. Holds on to it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
That was his thing in college. I think in college, Hembo always sends that cool stat of negative plays, and he groups it as sacks, fumbles, and interceptions. And he had, I want to say the number was 78 or something in his last year of college or last year, and that was exponentially higher than everybody else coming out of college football. And he, again, is in the lead or very much so near the top of that in the NFL.
He bought that sweet house up there.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Sweet. It's a manor.
That place is awesome.
Yeah.
Expensive as shit.
Very expensive.
And then you forget, he's been making $10 million or whatever for a few years now. He is wealthy. He wanted to start an investment fund.
Yeah.
This guy wanted to start a fund. It's like a fund is a lot of money because this money's just going to other places. So you got to have money fluid. That is how that operates. So whenever I heard that, I'm like, damn, this kid's got so much money. It's a much better life in those big houses when your team's good. Yeah, it's a much better life. Like Caleb, obviously, we saw him in college whenever they'd lose games, get a bit emotional in that whole thing. And with the way this Chicago season's gone, it's that can happen in the NFL. You can have 3 straight terrible years. And I assume that you do not want. What's that, Dan?
I agree.
How many terrible years can you have if you had to just project? Number 1 overall.
I played for 12 years, and I had terrible 9 of them, so I had a bunch of them. But how many can Caleb have?
Next year, he's starting over again.
Yeah.
Starting over again. New offense, probably, we assume. Who knows, unless it's coming from the same camp over there.
You're only getting 3 years in the NFL right now, though. That's the reality, and that's probably the most. You're probably getting, realistically, 40 games.
Let's talk about Anthony Richardson. He's in his 2nd year. How do you feel about him playing?
I loved what I've seen since he came back from the benching. I would say 2 of his best games of his career have come since the benching, the Jets game and then the Patriots game on the road. So if you go back to the New England game, the 2 turnovers, they're not dumb, they're not careless, they're not reckless. They're overly aggressive. Yes, you don't want them, but I'm not sitting there, if I'm Shane Steichen, minding them in a way where you have to stop doing that. I think you've seen him have more touch on some throws. He's been way more settled on some of his throws. I think Shane realizes he's got to get him into the game earlier physically, so they've called some of those design runs. I feel the same way kind of pre-benching. I think he's going to be awesome. I don't know why they don't consistently catch the ball for him. That New England game's not even close. If they catch 4 or 5 of those throws again, that's kind of how I felt before. They've got to figure that out. But I've been very impressed with him. I think you're only overly encouraged by what you've seen since the benching.
Okay, that's good news for the people of Indianapolis. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Orlovsky, after what you just said about Drake May, I probably won't say another bad thing about you for at least till the end of the year. But one of the quarterbacks who's kind of been...
December 10th.
Yep, good, great. Mark it down. A quarterback that has completely changed the narrative around him this year, Sam Darnold. I mean, he's been unbelievable. We were talking about him yesterday and today. It feels like there's a chance in Minnesota he's going to get one of those Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith deals. Do you think he ends up staying in Minnesota and he gets paid there, or do you think a team is going to give him like a massive contract this offseason and he goes and be's the face of a different team?
No, I don't think he stays in Minnesota. I think he's going to get $150 or so million from somebody else. I don't think he should stay in Minnesota. I love Minnesota. I love Kevin O'Connell. I think wherever he goes, you have to make sure that you run the same system, the same offensive system as kind of Kevin O'Connell does. I like the reason why I say I think he's going to go to somewhere else. I envision Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is going to get head coaching interviews. He runs the same system. But if we just looked at the teams that more than likely are going to be in the conversation for a starting quarterback. Bills, no. Dolphins, no. Patriots, no. Jets, yes. Ravens, no. Bengals, no. Browns absolutely can be in that conversation. Steelers, maybe. And we have no idea what their plan is. So that's three teams. Jacksonville, I don't think so I'm not going to put them in there. Tennessee, probably as a maybe. That's 4. The Raiders, absolutely. Teams out west, nope. The Panthers, I don't think so. The Saints, absolutely. The Vikings, obviously they're in that conversation. The Giants. So you're looking at 9 teams that are probably looking in some way, shape, or form for a starting quarterback. Sam's been awesome this year. He's been in the perfect place for his skill set. I think he goes and gets, a Kirk Cousins type of deal from last offseason. Excuse me. But I don't think it's in Minnesota.
Kevin O'Connell's just getting these $180 million deals for guys, Kirk Cousins, we'll talk about here in a matter of moments. Sam Darnold, it feels like J.J. McCarthy obviously gets drafted in the first round to be the future of their team. Sam Darnold gets brought in to be the veteran presence for J.J. to kind of watch, and he's obviously been around. He's making like $13 million this year or something like that. Sam Darnold's team, then was J.J. going to go in? Who knows? Now that J.J. has this entire year missed, much like Anthony Richardson. Now, granted, Anthony Richardson got to play like 4 games, but he's not around in the building and everything like that. You definitely need a veteran quarterback there next year regardless, right? It's just
100%.
So if Sam Darnold's going to command 9 teams, that's a lot of teams. 3 of those, let's say 3 of those owners are we're going free agency big.
Sure.
Let's say we're doing that. He's going to get a shit ton of money. There's no way the Vikings will be able to afford it, right? That's kind of where we're all thinking. That's kind of what we're all thinking.
I think so, yeah. And don't forget, part of the reason why they moved from Kirk was they were just tired of paying all that money to Kirk. It was, Kirk was going to demand a certain amount of money cash-wise and guarantee-wise. I know the injury might have played a factor, but I don't believe that they want to, at that point, invest that much money into that guy. And JJ, by all accounts, was awesome. And again, roster building, they've paid their left tackle. They've paid Justin. They've paid Hawk. They're soon going to have to pay Addison. There's probably a player or 2 on their defensive side that's going to have to be paid a lot of money to at some point. So, they drafted JJ with this specific thought process of him maybe being their starter this year. I think that if you're Kevin O'Connell, you have so much confidence in the way that you've built your roster and your offensive football team that the roster will only improve from now till next year because of that free money. I just believe it'll be JJ and Sam will go get paid by somebody else.
And they'll bring in a vet that they can pay $8 million to or something like that.
Daniel Jones. Maybe it's Daniel Jones stays there on the same, maybe half the deal that Sam is.
Now, riddle me this. We're talking about fit for Sam Darnold, that offense being perfect. Accuracy is the only thing that matters, really, in that offense? Not the only thing, but get it.
You got it. Accuracy matters in every area. I would say the most prominent thing in that offense is you have to be able to play on time with your feet. That is the fundamental part, and you got to be very comfortable operating play action. You got to be very comfortable turning your back to a defense, making a ball fake, not seeing the coverage while you're doing it, getting your eyes back to the coverage, and knowing how to read. Play action is usually progression. It doesn't depend on the coverage. You're reading 1 to 2 to 3. You have to have a comfort in seeing that and then executing it in timing.
So is Daniel Jones one of those guys?
Yes, that's exactly. That is the majority of what Dable did that year when they went to the playoffs in 22 and he got 15 touchdowns and 5 picks and they paid him. That was the overwhelming thing that Dable did, and it mitigated a lot of the flaws. And I guess it brought his greatest strength out, which is he is capable of throwing those intermediate crossing or in-breaking routes. That's probably his best throw.
Okay, so maybe that's why they get him in there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's learn this thing here. And Sam Darnold probably understands that this is a chance. This is a special opportunity. And I'm going to go get $200 million.
Yeah, right the bank.
I'm going to go get $200 million, and we all understand this is all good. Last question here. Only have about a minute and a half from Ty about the Vikings and, I guess, big-time contracts.
Yeah, Dano, you just talked about Kirk Cousins a bunch. What do you think ultimately should be done down in Atlanta? That division's kind of slipping away from them. Obviously, they still have a lot to play for, but everyone's talking about 0 touchdowns, 8 picks in the last 4 games, and the call for Penix is kind of really getting a lot louder. Do you think there's a chance that Penix starts before the end of the season here?
I think as long as they're in the playoffs, they'll keep Kirk, or playoff race, in the divisional race, they'll keep Kirk. I have their game on Monday night. They play the Raiders out. We have another doubleheader, 6 days from today. I don't know why in Atlanta they've gone completely away from play action. He doesn't have a touchdown pass in play action this year. We just talked for 3 minutes about what he was doing in Minnesota with Kevin. He doesn't have a touchdown pass. He's only thrown like 63 attempts in play action. So that's a whole nother conversation of why it's gone that way. If you're going to tell me that he's not comfortable with the injury, then why is he playing? He will not move off the top of his drop. Like that interception, the double clutch, he will not. I don't know why. He won't move off the top of his drop. He gets to the top of his drop and there's no movement. And I don't know if it's a lack of comfort. It's a not trusting the injury. I've never had it, but I think the Bucs, I believe, play the Chargers. If the Bucs lose to the Chargers, they'll go into Monday night Atlanta with a win and reclaiming the division lead. So I think as long as they're in division, while probably Penix's conversation is worthy, I don't think it's realistic.
It's going to get loud, though, and that's why we all reacted the way we did on draft night whenever you give a guy $180 million in his first year there, and then you have an eighth overall pick. It's like if the guy was there for a year or two and had already built up the trust and the faith in the people in the building and the fans and everything, maybe he can deal with a rocky slide, like 4 games, 8 picks, no touchdowns. But instead now it's first year with Kirk. All these people are experiencing. It's very natural just to be like, well, all right, we've seen this one. Let's do this number. They'll figure it out. They're professionals. Yeah. Just like you. We appreciate you, man. Great work last night. Orlovsky. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you, boys. Thank you. Good to make some the thumbs. Good to make amends with 2 of arch rivals.
I don't know if they. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, Dan.
He's the best.
Arch rivals is heavy.
Dan knows exactly who he is, too. So whenever people kill him for stuff, he knows, like, well, that's Dan Orlovsky football.
Yep. That's right.
He said, I'm never not going to be the guy to take the first. Okay, we know. We see it. Thanks to Dan. AJ Hawk and Aaron Rodgers on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Might change your life like Dude Wipes.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the commissioner of the NFL. Don't listen to them. No. Roger Goodell. Shut your mouth. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah. You're our commissioner. Don't worry about these bums. From us to you, we'd like to give you a gift that we know you're a big fan of. Ladies and gentlemen, some peanut M&Ms for our commission.
This is just why we're on set?
Yep. You can take these with you. You can take them home.
I might just say, I got a gift for you.
What?
Oh. You ready?
Yeah, I like that.
With the 222nd pick in the 2009 NFL Draft.
Oh, yeah.
The Indianapolis Colts select Pat McAfee. Hunter, West Virginia.
Hell yeah!
Come on there, baby.
Good pick. Good pick. I'll pick him up.
Thank you, Raj. I'm not going to pick you up because you got that
That's
back.
All right.
Yeah.
I got it. There's your card, baby. That's real.
That's awesome.
I've been keeping that for, 15 years?
You had it in your back pocket this whole time. This is cool. Thank you for this. So whenever we say that you have to answer to 31 billionaires, how accurate is that?
32. Well, you're not counting Green Bay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
doesn't count.
Big pop. There's a Green Bay Packers.
I didn't know he did.
Yeah, no, that was.
I don't actually think that way. I actually think I answer to them. I think I answer to the media partners. I think I answer the players. I think I answer the owners too. The idea for me is to try to keep everyone happy. I always say that my biggest job is not to piss off more than 24 owners in a given day.
How did you know the draft would be awesome if you traveled it, and did you see this happening?
I'd be kidding you if I thought it was going to be as big as it is. We felt like we could be bigger than we were in Radio City. But what happened is Radio City actually put a holiday show in and said, you can't have the draft until June. And that's when we said, we're out of here.
So they kicked you out.
That's when we went on the road.
Well, Taylor Swift, we know.
Well, that's a different kind of influence.
How about, hey, listen, a lot of jokes from
They're booing Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you can't, Bill.
There it is.
Yeah, you're going to be a part of an album.
Wow.
Do it. Get a little louder. She is going to cook you. A lot of the internet was saying Roger Goodell was sitting at home through the moon about this.
Well, they thought it was part of the script.
Yes, everyone talked to it. There it
no.
is. Is there a thought of adding another one, maybe adding another bye week, or are we good at 17 right now?
Well, I think we're good at 17 now, but listen, we're looking at how we continue. I'm not a fan of the preseason. I don't think we need preseason.
Waste of time, right, and energy.
I don't buy it, and I don't think these guys like it either.
Well, they have to spend full price for the tickets for those games.
No, they're actually discounted now. So
Thank you for doing that.
I'd rather replace a preseason game with a regular season any day. That's just picking quality, right? If we got to 18-2, that's not an unreasonable thing. The other thing it does, which I thought you were going to, is that ends up on President's Day weekend, which is a 3-day weekend, which makes a Sunday night, and then you have Monday off. So that's
wow.
Now we're cooking.
See,
now we're cooking.
Can you talk to the president about having the Monday after?
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Football! Hey, it's wonderful. We're so lucky that we get to talk about it every single day. It's not just me. The Talks Table's here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tony's here. How'd the public do? 51% was on the Bengals, if I recall?
It was, and we got a cover.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Well-deserved, right side the whole time, was never in doubt.
I mean, blocked punt, muff, whole situation certainly is a little bit of a predicament. If I was on the Dallas Cowboys plus 4.5, I'd see that play and go, of course this is how this worked out. Of course. Tanking season, crop season, this thing is scripted season. How does this work? Well, a man who liked the Dallas Cowboys yesterday plus 4.5, and Cooper Cush could have never prepared for this. 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler.
Here for that.
D-Butch, I thought the Bengals minus 4.5 was like the obvious answer. I thought we were going to be clean sweep on this entire thing. Okay. So when you led off yesterday and said you like the Dallas Cowboys plus 4.5, I was waiting. Whoa. I was almost like taken back a little bit. And then you said, I like Cooper Rush going crazy tonight. And I just almost stopped you immediately and you said, Joe Burrow's on the other side. So
I liked him going crazy too. I liked the over, remember?
Oh, yeah,
but that didn't hit either.
Okay. Anyways, you scared me a little bit. I want to let you know that. Happy that me and this Ohio guy stuck with our, actual feeling. Almost some of these games too obvious.
Yeah, getting there.
Like that Chargers-Chiefs game, that felt obvious. That one felt like an obvious one. But it was a sweat, obviously, the entire time. Like an actual sweat. If Travis Kelce doesn't decide just take a knee on like the 9 or whatever after that completion and gets up and realizes that he has 7-8 yards to turn and run, and they end up on the 2 or they end up on the 3. Are they trying to punch that in instead of their third kicker kicking that thing? And if they punch that in, all of a sudden, guess who covers for the first time, long time? Chiefs. But instead, the Chiefs. Instead, the Chargers tackle him in his back when he lays down. They kick a field goal, doink it in. Once again, the Chargers cover. So it's like all these obvious ones win sometimes, but then something absurd has to take place.
Yep.
Like that muff last night was bananas. You don't see that in professional football.
No.
Almost never.
Because like football intelligence is a massive part of it all. And in special teams meetings, I'm certain that Coach Bones has said numerous times, we block a punt, Peter. We block a field goal, Peter. If the ball makes past the line of scrimmage, it touches you, it is a live ball. He thought he was going to scoop and score that thing. Fourth quarter, about a minute left, just go, yeah, give me that thing. Look at how easy this is.
That's the only tough part. It goes against your natural instincts as a ball player because he's probably been the best athlete on the field his whole life. So when you see a ball bouncing, we always talk, get on the ball. Except for this situation, block, field goal, block, punt. It's always a Peter. It's always a poison. It's on the returner to make that call loud and everybody else that's around, get the hell out of the way. He saw this and actually went after it, so it's really no excuse for him. Hope, it's a learning moment. On prime time, it's tough. As everybody on that team, you had opportunities to make plays. And obviously, I think everybody kind of felt like Micah Parsons and Bones, walking off that field. That's a tough way to go out.
Special teams coordinator, Peter, get away.
Just that roller coaster emotion for him. That 4 seconds, 3 seconds
punt in the fourth quarter.
Got it.
Yeah. Special teams just contributed in a massive way to a win. Instead, special teams just contributed in a massive way to our loss. Now, once again, if Jamar Chase gets tackled there, instead of boom and scoring a touchdown, maybe they kick a field goal, win that day.
Yeah.
But instead, Jamar Chase makes it. It's why it's so impossible to pick these games. Joining us now is a man from the great state of Ohio. He's a college football national champion. He's a Super Bowl champion. And I learned in my Instagram comments yesterday, he's also the brother of Tony Hawk. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Wow.
Good to see you, Age.
Good to see you. Unfortunately, I do not believe I'm related to Tony Hawk, but he is great. I've been a big fan forever.
Okay, put on a ticker. I'm actually a big fan of Tony Hawk as well. That's why when I read it, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
How have we missed this?
You don't think I would have told you by now? Old Tone, my other brother Tone?
No, remember, we've been doing the show now, 4 or 5 years? There are things that just slip out of your mouth about very pivotal things that we've talked about for the past 5 years that you have not told us. So there is a chance that you are just hanging out with Tony Hawk at Thanksgiving and Christmas and don't tell us. We want to let you know that haircut looks phenomenal. Holy shit.
Wow. Clean. They did a good job.
Good day today, Age. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, man. My guy Jake, he cuts me up, but I would say Jamar Chase is pretty good, isn't he? You feel like I think Eli even said in the Manning cast, the Bengals weren't expecting to score on that play there. Like they almost scored too quickly because Jamar is so good. And you're right, you get the guy down, then you see what happens. But man, that's a tough one for the Cowboys. I think obviously the block punt situation is one that's tough to get over.
Yeah, especially if you're in that room and Big Mike McCarthy's coaching staff understands the situation. So whenever things like that happen, obviously it's going to get potentially held against them. Even though Bones will get a special teams coordinator job at a new place immediately if he was to be let go or fired from the Dallas Cowboys, which is obviously potentially possible with Big Mike McCarthy being on the last year of his contract. What does that look like going forward? Micah Parsons has said, a lot of stuff, but I guess he said that Mike McCarthy also deserves maybe the team at full health and that entire notion there. So good luck to Big Mike and the Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons obviously had it. Yeah, he's fed up. He can't. Jeez, so how do we?
It was worse than the playoff loss.
That's tough right there.
Yeah, he said it was bad. We have some breaking news out of last night's game. Somebody, we assume this, I don't know, because there's copycat world we're in.
Yeah.
Somebody tried to break into Joe Burrow's house last night in Cincinnati. Jeez. While the Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow was playing Monday Night Football, I've confirmed police were called to his Cincinnati area home for a report of a break-in. A woman called 911 and said, someone is trying to break into the house right now. My daughter is there. This is Joe Burrow's house. She's staying there. He's at the football game. She's wondering what she should do, if she should be hiding or if she should go outside. That woman's daughter also called 911 and said, someone broke into my house. It's completely messed up. Okay, I don't know what those ... dots were. I assume there were some other descriptors. Can we continue to scroll down? I have reached out to the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office for comment, waiting to hear back. I'm in the process of listening to all the radio traffic and will bring you the latest. Can we scroll down? Starting at 4 p.m. tonight. Okay, so that's developing out of Cincinnati. Joe Burrow, obviously, now has the world know that there was a lady at his house. Who knows? Hopefully they are friends in love or whatever the case. I am very, that is information that the world knows now. I'm also very worried that this is becoming a common occurrence whenever people know that you're not home.
Yeah.
And shout out to the girl that was in the house, figuring out, like, hey, what do I need to do? Shout out to the mom also calling in there. I assume that the Cincinnati police got there quickly. Hopefully it was quick enough, in this entire thing. But we're getting to a point now where it's like, if it's publicly known that you were not home, and I had people show up at my house before, not try to break in, but just show up at my house. It's almost like sad, but like you almost need like somebody watching your house.
No doubt.
It's got to, that's where I'm at. I'm like, hey, we need somebody watching house, because it's very public. This happened to who? Travis and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yep.
This happened to two NBA guys. There's people, and allegedly had been tied to some gang, I believe. It was a gang. Additional details on the report of a break-in at Joe Burrow's Cincinnati area home while he was playing Monday night. Radio traffic indicates there was an officer on detail at his house last night. There was a shattered window in bedroom, and bedroom was ransacked. Okay, officer, come on. Let's keep eyes out here.
Wait, what? He was on.
He was on. Was he working at Joe's house or just in the area?
That radio traffic says on detail at his house, right? Or is it just the neighborhood? You're saying maybe community. There was cop in the.
I mean, if there's a cop on duty at the house and someone breaks in and ransacks the room, that's a tough look.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And
watching the game.
We've driven exactly. That's he's a Cincinnati guy.
Yeah, he's watching the game.
You're right.
And it was a good game.
You need out of town.
It was a battle in there. Yeah, that's now that's certainly another inefficiency, but that would tell me that it's not maybe. I don't think those same gangs that I don't know what was real and what was not real. It was reported, so I don't want to even get into a political war for this entire thing. But the NFL sent out a memo to all the teams and said, hey, there are gangs of people who are sophisticated robbers, and they are studying your house for like a month. They're watching your schedule. They're learning your family schedule. And then whenever they know you're out of town for a game, they're hitting it via second floor balconies. And it's like, boom, bang, bang. They like have completely assessed the whole situation. So this sounds different, right? Because I don't think those people would go if there was a cop sitting in it.
Definitely not.
Even if not. But maybe they said, this cop, we've watched him, dipshit.
Yeah.
This guy's asleep. This guy falls asleep within 30 minutes. It does not matter if he's there. And with how big the house is, we can hit that bedroom.
He'll never know.
He'll never know. He's on the complete opposite side, dumbass. He's snoozing.
It's like the town.
It's crazy.
Actually.
That's what, I guess that is happening to folks. So let's watch ourselves here. All right. Sorry to happen, Joey and lady in-house. Hope everything's okay. Ransack the bedroom. What was in there? National championship ring?
Probably
cool
gone.
clothes.
A lot of we saw his fit last night.
So many cool clothes.
Yeah.
Watches.
TVs. You think he's got two big TVs, or you think what's the TV?
None
I think they try to take the TVs off the wall and get out of there.
Yeah.
You ever see To Catch a Thief? You ever see this show?
Yeah. What about it?
Have you actually? I don't know if you're.
Yeah, I believe I have.
Phenomenal show. This guy was a professional.
Oh yes, I have definitely seen this.
Yeah, and he basically what they wrote out in that memo to all the NFL teams, this dude would do, and he got caught. They caught him one time, went to jail. Then it became like, I should create a security system for people to let them know. And the show happened where basically these families would agree to it. Like 4 families would agree to it. Like for the next 30 days, we're going to set up cameras in your house and just see if this guy can rob your house without you guys knowing, with your current security setup. And every single time this guy got into their house, he would study where they're going, how long they're going. And he was not scared at all to break a window. Like, I'm going to break. Everybody's like, well, it won't break a window because of security or whatever. They will break it. And if the alarm goes off, they do not care because they know they got like 3 minutes to basically hit this thing. And the way they hit rooms, or 5 minutes to hit these rooms, the way they hit them, it's like TVs off wall, boom, bang, bang, bang. Everything is so quick and they're gone. And it's like, we just hauled like 30 grand out of that, or like 20 grand or 15 grand, like in a matter of moments. And they have it all on camera, obviously, because these houses signed up for it. And I think it was at that moment that I was a little bit worried about how sophisticated some of these fuckers are.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, if they want you, they got you. This is just like the tech stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These hackers, if they want you right now, they can get you. And my phone just got dropped into a new fucking list. My phone number. I'm getting calls and texts.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You accidentally sign up for something, and then all of a sudden
solicitors.
They got your phone number now. Or somebody who has your phone number just gets hacked, and then all of a sudden your number's in 1,000 different things.
This is also like peak phishing scam season with like you get those text messages that says like a USPS package like is stuck at wherever, or like Amazon, same deal. And it's like click the link to, claim your package or see where it's at, and it's you do that and they got all your information.
And also, if anybody from any other countries reaches out, don't send them money. It's not a good business investment.
Well, some of them might be good, right?
We don't know, but I think all that I've heard about have not worked out. Joining us now is a man who I think is a very good businessman.
Oh, yeah.
Never gets talked about, ever. So much cake from throwing a football perfectly. What has he done off the field? Well, obviously it's all been documented. Will be even more so on December
17th.
Yep.
On Netflix in a 3-part docuseries titled Enigma about this 4-time NFL MVP. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl champion, quarterback of the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, listen.
You're going to do that every time until it comes out?
I don't have to do it, but it is a pretty cool thing. They don't make documentaries about nobodies. I told you this last time. It's a pretty cool thing that, A, anybody wants to watch a documentary about your life because that means you've accomplished things, and B, the fact that it's happening to a guy that we know. I'm excited to watch it as well. I think it's going to be a good thing. In the trailer for it, buddy, you take us in there. You take us into basically into all of it. So I'm pumped to see it, man. I'm excited to learn about you a little bit more.
Yeah, you going to get the Cliff Notes or have Foxy, one of the boys, Gumpy, watch it and tell you what happened?
Nah, I watch things. It's tough for me to read stuff. Tough for me to read stuff.
Not a big reader.
Well, I will if it's, like X post length.
Yeah.
If it's an X post length, I'll read. Even those longer ones that are coming out. And even threads, I'll go.
Big E story, you read that?
That's the longest thing I've ever read in my entire life. Players Tribune, Big E of the WWE wrote his story. I was 35 minutes into that thing, and I actually said, whoa, I could see how people get lost in a book. That was like a 30 scroller. That was like a 30 scroller. And worth it, by the way. Big E, hey, I love you, man.
Shout out Big E.
Big E, we love you. Yeah. We love you. Your life story got me captivated, brother. Got me captivated in there.
I thought you were talking about Big E from the Road Rules Real World Challenge.
We love Big E. He's been on the program.
Yes, he has.
Big E's been on the program. Obviously, I think
he's a DJ now.
Yeah, he's super fit.
Has he been? He's been on the program?
Yeah, he's a DJ down at what's that, Texas?
South Padre Island.
Yeah,
South Padre Island.
There it is, down in Texas. He runs that. I think he runs the whole island still every spring break, as he should. In great shape, hair still flowing. Nonetheless, let's chit-chat about you a little bit. You throw for 300 yards for the first time in a long time on Sunday. It inevitably ends up in an overtime loss to the Miami Dolphins. That type of indifference in emotion, obviously successful offense. This Jets offense looked like what it could be. Assembled how it is. Alan Lazard's back healthy. Some other pieces fall into place. Devontae and Garrett both go for over 100. Inevitably, it's in a loss, though, to the Miami Dolphins. How do you kind of register it all, and how do you view Sunday's game?
Well, it's an L, so that's the first way. We did some good things on offense. We've done a lot of good things on offense. So throughout the year, just in spurts, I felt like we were more consistent for 4 quarters. Didn't get to touch the ball in overtime, but more consistent for 4 quarters. We scored on 5 straight possessions, I believe. So I think we've done all year. 2 touchdowns, 3 field goals. Then we had a couple 3-and-outs, and we put together a drive to take a lead, and then didn't touch the ball again. So that was kind of the way it went. I was proud of our young guys in the backfield, our rookies who were playing with Brees out. Isaiah and Braylon did a really nice job. Obviously, Garrett had a big productive day. Devontae had a big productive day. We had some penalties that hurt us in situational football for sure, and came up short.
Okay, so when you look back on it, you obviously have another game. We have another couple games still. Season's still going. And we looked back on your career. I think 2008 and 2018, you had losing seasons when you were playing. And at Cal, did you guys have any losing seasons?
No, we were 8-6 and 10-1.
Okay, and then at JUCO, how many years were you at JUCO?
10-1 1 year.
Okay, high school, were you?
High school, I think we won every year.
Okay, so this is like your third losing season in the history of football of you playing.
Chico Jaguars, 8th grade. We were 2-7.
Come on.
Yikes.
Okay, so what do you pull from that 7th grade year with the sorry-ass...
8th grade.
Sorry, what do you pull from the sorry-ass Chico Jaguars whenever you were in 8th grade to kind of mindset this year? Because this is not something that is normal for you, especially playing. 2008, 2018, and now is seemingly... You've committed your entire life to football at this point, 41 years old. How is the mindset and what is the thought week after week here, knowing that mathematically eliminated and this season is not going to be what you guys thought it was going to be?
Well, I mean, we get paid for the 17 weeks of the season, playing 17 games. So I guess 18 weeks. So you keep playing. If you're healthy, I feel like that's your responsibility. So it turns into what are you playing for? I think first and foremost is pride. Pride encompasses everything. It's your pride in your performance, love for the game, love for your teammates, regard for the opportunity. Then there's other things that I'm sure can be motivation for people. You're talking about stats and bonuses and different things that come into play, whether you're 10-3 or 3-10. There's always those things that are tied into contracts. So I'm sure there'll be motivation for guys in that way. But I think at the end of the day, it comes down to playing for pride and playing because you love the game. Obviously, it's been a tough season for us, but there's one way to finish this thing, and that's the right way, and that's going out and not changing the way you prepare and not changing your approach and going out and being a true professional.
Big one against the Jags this weekend.
Let's go.
Huge.
Hey, we can get a win down here.
Yep.
We can get a flight home at least, we're celebrating, having a good time. You better hope, though, that big Costco and little Costco don't go down there. They're undefeated at NFL games in Florida.
Yep.
They are completely defeated in NFL games in Texas. So if they swing by Duval with Tony Khan, who they've been pounding around with, watch out for the 5 big booms as you come out, because that thing isn't quitting, okay? So just let the boys know they got a fireman head, too, potentially.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Dude.
Uh-oh. That might be a problem.
They're gonna bring the
this guy wrestled.
Do you know what's been going on in Jersey lately?
Well,
and I'm not talking about the football. Not just talking about the football. There's been some crazy things going on. There's some
like McDonald's?
There's some drones in the sky.
Have you seen any
drones
yourself?
in the sky? I haven't. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Queued up. What the hell is that?
What is that? Is that real? That's
an airplane?
That's a helicopter.
That's large. What is that?
Is that just
drones? Bedminster, in Bedminster. I've seen that video. That's
is that real? What are you talking about, drones? Hold the phone.
Bedminster is home. That's home to Trump's golf course, and our owner Woody Johnson. So who knows? Maybe those guys are.
So somebody's flying their helicopter into town. Is that what we're saying? Is that
is that a helicopter? Is that what that is?
It looks gigantic.
Could be the Costco guys flying in.
That could be Big Boom, Big Justice, Big Costco, and Little Costco.
Listen, there's other videos that I've seen, and I've talked to some friends of mine, police officers. Shout out Mario.
Shout out Mario. Hey, not Luigi though. Shout out Mario.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some interesting things going on. Interesting things with the drones. I don't know what's going on with them. Maybe it's just some kids messing around. Maybe not though.
Hold on, this is happening in New Jersey? This is a New Jersey thing?
Yeah, the New Jersey, there was a senator that just made a comment about it, keeping our citizens safe. They need to tell us what's going on, if it's military or non-military or UAP or whatever the hell it is. But there's people in Jersey, it's people interested what the hell's going on with these drones.
Well, I seen your house that you bought out there on Zillow and Law Windows. You think they're going to potentially sneak down and kind of get a peek-see of you? Are you guys doing anything? Are you putting up... Are you putting up any different curtains or blinds or anything so these drones aren't buzzing the tower and maybe checking old Aaron out?
I'm thinking about having a Friday night 5E experience where you call in you have a big kind of meditation circle, and then you call in the aliens and you use little green lasers to bring them in. So thinking Friday night, maybe doing if it's a nice night and it's a clear night, might try and have a little 5E experience, bring them in.
Okay, so I went Bigfoot hunting in Georgia one time with a guy on the internet that said he...
Squatching?
Yeah, I went squatching down in Georgia. I found this guy on the internet. He said he had seen Bigfoot 3 times over the last 20 years. And after the first time he saw it, he got so addicted to looking for Bigfoot out in the woods. He actually left his wife and his kids, moved into the woods. He became a recluse, and he ran a Bigfoot hunting club down there in Georgia. Found him on the internet, paid him $500. I said, you know what, this guy's committed. We went out in the hills of Georgia in the middle of the night, okay? Wild scene, went out there, and we had a like a big megaphone almost, and he would scream into it what Bigfoot sounds are. And
how did it sound? Do you know how it sounded?
Sound like he was just yelling at the top of his lungs. I mean, I didn't hear a single cadence that I didn't really understand. It all seemed pretty human yelly to me, but I certainly gave it a go. He gave it a go. We were out there 6-7 hours. We did not hear a single thing back. Heard some coyotes.
Okay.
Heard some coyotes. Heard some other animals rustling around. We were out there. I mean, so that is Bigfoot hunting. I've been there. I know what that sound is. When you do your 5E hunt here, alien hunt, what are we chanting? Is there, you said green lasers? We're all just
how do you call them in? What do you mean?
Yeah, what's the move? What's the do we have a megaphone? Because that's what I did. And maybe the aliens are Bigfoot flying around in that thing.
Whoa.
Listen, I've never done an actual 5E, but there's a documentary out there called Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. And I believe it's Stephen Greer, who's kind of legendary in this space. And they put together these experiences where they film it, and they do these nighttime things where they call in the spacecraft.
Is it like a midnight yell down there at Texas A&M when they're doing that?
I think so.
Like a rain dance.
I think it's a lot of that. Yeah.
Why do they always probe you? Why are they always taking humans and probing them?
Yeah, why is that always the story? Hey, right up the butt.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't know.
Maybe that's what they do to each other. You know how dogs sniff?
Yeah.
And go, hey, you smell good here, go poop. And then they move along. What if that's just like their thing? Like
to learn you.
Like, hey, how you doing?
Hey, let's see what's inside you. You know, let's just do that entire thing.
Hey, how are you? Let me, real quick, huh?
Yeah, let me learn about this thing you got going on inside you. We would like
probably all benevolent. It's probably all benevolent, though. You know what I mean? Probably all benevolent.
Yeah, I don't think I know completely what that means, but the context clues are telling me. You just said, yeah, it's all bullshit, right? Probably all bullshit. Is that what you said?
No, it's all its own good spirits. You know, it's
harmless.
It's for our own best interest.
Yeah, I'm sure this is all completely normal. You know, I'm sure that we'll hear about it, and some bazillionaire was flying big old drones around,
having fun.
Not being detected by radar.
No.
He was just hanging out in his bunker, huh? Like, just mess around a little bit with these people from my bunker here.
Yeah.
Checking things out.
SUV.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, and I'd like to let these aliens know if they are droning. And if they're over Jersey, remember, they're probably hearing what you're saying. Just let them know that we here at the Pat McAfee Show would love to have them as a guest. We'll love to have them as a guest.
Maybe Bedminster, I'm telling you, that's where the Trump's golf course is. Maybe Trump was in there and he... You know, or he was at the golf course doing some night putting, and he wanted to.
Oh, spotlight.
You know, no, he just wanted to get back to Mar-a-Lago or something.
Yeah, maybe the drone is the new chopper. Maybe the drone is the new chopper. Big drones hop on top of them. You actually ride them like a magic carpet.
Oh.
Yeah, you actually ride on top of them like a magic carpet. Yeah, to get bingo. Okay, so maybe that is. Well, I'm sure there'll be something that'll make more sense than that. We want you to know though, if you
or less, or less. Could be less.
No, the guy was just hanging out at McDonald's. Hey, whenever you talk to these aliens, okay, when you talk to these aliens, please tell them that we at the Pat McAfee Show would like to talk to them. Okay. We would like to have a conversation with them. And we're okay if they can't talk our language. We'll figure it out. We had a full interview with a duck multiple times.
Yep.
Okay, so we are the right people if you get a chance to chat with them. Let's move along here. So whenever you see situations end games, Aaron, like a blocked punt won a game pretty much for the Cincinnati Bengals last night. Now the Dallas Cowboys make a mistake. They muff this thing. Blocked field goal against the Giants. Now, I do believe it was a pull shoot, and inevitably the Saints get a win, Giants get a loss. Blocked field goal, Packers, Bears. It's like all these games are coming down to like who can execute in the right moment. What do you think it takes? Now you're on a team, 3 teams that haven't gone, and then you've been on obviously multiple teams that have gone. Is it the attention to detail that separate these teams? What do you think it is, and why do some teams seemingly benefit off of it more so than other people?
Well, I think there's something to being a great role player. And in a day and age where everybody's clamoring to be the star player, the most famous player, the richest player at their position, the games are often won by the best role players. And they won't show up on the stat sheet, but it's the guy that blocks his ass off all game and doesn't give up a pressure, or the guy that selfishly throws his body in there, or the special teamer who makes sure that everybody on that 11 knows exactly what they're doing, knows the rules, knows the situation, knows what to do. So there's 0 mistakes, and they do their job incredibly well, and that's what wins the game. It's the guy running down on kickoff who needs to make a play in a crunch time and might not be a starter and wants to be a starter, but makes the play that saves the game. Or it's the defensive player who's a dime player, and we play dime 20% of the time, and they go in there and they do their best on those 20%, and one of those plays is the game that turns the tide. So I think if you look at the best teams I've been on, obviously there's been star players who got to play well, but it's the role players who do their job to the best. And if just some of the plays from the Super Bowl that we won, Age and I won. Obviously, Age was a big time star for us, and I was kind of coming into my own. But Howard Green made one of the bigger plays in Super Bowl. Howard was a great role player for us. Ryan Pickett made one of the bigger plays for us. And Ryan was a really good player, but not he wasn't, I would say, a star player for us. He was like a really strong, solid player for us. Jarrett Bush was a solid role player for us. A great special teamer, played a little bit for us in nickel, had interception in the Super Bowl. Just role players doing their job to the best of their abilities is often what wins the game, whether it shows up in the stat sheet or not. And I would say that all these teams who are doing really well, there's some unsung heroes that won't get the credit, but are often the glue behind holding that whole thing together.
That's why culture matters so much. Everybody feeling like their job is the most important job, and them doing their role to their best ability means life or death for the team. And it can be tough whenever you're only getting like 3 plays a game, 4 plays a game, to stay invested, especially with what D-Butt just said earlier about Amani. Great name, phenomenal name.
Oruware?
So D-Butt said earlier, and it's a very accurate take, it's like his entire life he's been the most athletic guy on any field he's ever been on. So that ball is bouncing at him. It's like, hey, let's do something with this. 4th quarter, 1 minute left, and he's just dropped into a special teams play, and it's like, at that moment, there's a lot more people that are the same person as you, but like have much bigger roles on this particular team that we are just trying to get the ball into their hands. That is all we're trying to do at this moment. And that's an interesting little thing. And once you get people kind of bought in and all in, then everybody goes. Those are the teams that end up making it. Those are the teams that end up going strong. And then there's obviously you got to have success though for everybody buying into. That's a whole nother animal, whole nother conversation. Go ahead, AJ.
Aaron, this is what your 20th season, correct? We ask you that every time you're on here, I believe. 20?
Yes.
So it's 20. Honestly, though, for a legit question, though, from when you got into the league, let's say when you became a starter in the league till now, how has the game changed? Like, how have people changed? Have players changed? Like, I hear back and forth from different coaches and players. They say, now, guys are the same, but, everything around them might be different. Like, what's the locker room like now from before? And, like, what's the game actually like? Has the scheme changed drastically in your mind?
I think the players are bigger, stronger, and faster. But I think the football IQ has dropped. A lot of that's because of the offenses at the lower level. There's not a lot of huddles. There's not a lot of adjustments. Everything comes from the sidelines for the most part. Many teams aren't using cadence. So I think from a football IQ standpoint, it's lower. From a football skill set, it's probably higher. Kids are more ready to play. I think the athleticism has obviously gotten better. Guys are... it's a different social media world. Back in 2008, camera phones were not even really going. Social media was basically Facebook, I believe, that people had. I don't know if MySpace was still holding on or not. Now, there's a lot of emphasis on the brand, and our sport is such a worldwide phenomenon. There's opportunities to make money off the field, which raises your presence kind of out there in the world, your fame, your notoriety. There's a lot of people talking about the game now. both non-players, non-former players, and former players who, are trying to stay relevant fame-wise. So the takes and the criticism, I think, are a lot different than they were maybe in the mid-2000s. I'm not talking about you, Pat, so chill out or stop being sensitive. Talking about these experts on TV who nobody remembers what they did in their career. So in order for them to stay relevant, they have to make comments that keep them in the conversation. That wasn't going on in 2008, 2009. That was non-existent. The Sports Center of my youth, those guys made the highlights so much fun, and that's what they showed on Sports Center. Now it's all talk shows and people whose opinions are so important now, and they believe they're the celebrities now. They're the stars for just being able to talk about sports or give a take about sports, many of which are unfounded or asinine, as we all know. But that's the environment that we're in now, and I think as much as sports, all that stuff has helped the popularity of our game, as has gambling. The gambling on our sport and fantasy football has brought more and more popularity to our sport, which raises salaries. It's been a lot of great things that we've reaped the benefits of. The overall product of the game, I think you have better athletes with a less violent game and a game with because of some of the restrictions coaches would say in the off season, you have less time with the players, and you have a player that maybe doesn't have the same type of football IQ as when I first got in the league.
Interesting stuff, because every old player says the same thing seemingly, and by old player I mean like guys who've been around a long time. Tom Brady's been on a big. Tom Brady's a big proponent of what has happened to this game. Basically, that is kind of his angle. In him commentating on Sunday during the entire Bills-Rams situation where they called a timeout after not getting a sneak with 1:02 left. They had 3 timeouts left, and they don't get it. They call a timeout. And in real time, Tom Brady's like, this game's over. This game's over. Unless they get a 3% onside, 3% chance of an onside kick, it does not even matter if they make this a 2-point game after this touchdown. And it's like, I think the reason why Tom was so mad about that is because that was a massive mistake, a critical mistake in his eyes. That's like bad for football. Like, hey, that is a bad for football decision made there. And I think he also was upset about it because Josh Allen just did something historic. And now because of a decision that was made that wasn't his, all of a sudden they lose the game. All this stuff gets talked about ad nauseum almost by you old greats. You old greats say it. Is there ever a chance it comes back, all that stuff, or will you think this is just a one-way trip here?
It depends on what society does. I think we're mirroring society a little bit. If the softer we get, the softer our game gets, and vice versa. I mean, look at the other sports too. Hockey used to be, where you had the enforcers. You had the enforcers who would protect, you would protect the star players. That position is gone from the league now. Fights are, they don't want the fighting in it.
Whoa. They don't want the staged fights. Staged fights.
They don't want the staged fights. Okay.
Yeah,
they still allow, I do like they still allow the fighting, but they don't have the enforcers anymore. Now, part of that's, I guess, because there's so many skilled players now, and the enforcers are also really skilled now. I would get Biz on here. He knows a lot about hockey and fighting. Yeah, he's enforcing. Shout out to Biz too. You know what I mean? What a legend.
Absolute legend. He took down an entire Irish gypsy family, it sounds like.
Yeah.
He took down the entire family. The full internet reporting on this family.
Getting them.
It's insane. Biz beat up some terrible dudes.
Yeah.
He beat the shit. And that doesn't happen.
No. Champion.
In the real world, that's out of a movie what Biz did. Thank God he was at Houston's that night. Attaboy, Biz. Thank you, Biz.
That boy, Biz.
Biz made our country better. These people were terrorizing our country.
Yeah.
Sweet old ladies would open their front doors. I would like to get my driveway fixed. Thank you. $750, no problem. Here you go. You guys need some tea or anything? No, we're good. Thanks. We're going to go to work.
We'll be right back.
We'll let you know when this is done. Gone. See ya. Let's go hit some more people. And Biz said, not in my town. Not in any of my 5 towns.
My restaurant.
And he beat the shit out of that guy. And then the next one, And then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. What was his first response? There were 7 of them. So there's only 6 been caught. One of them got away with not being known by getting his ass kicked. But you're right. Shout out to Biz and shout out to hockey for still having some of that old school stuff. And I think in football, it's getting back to a more physical style game. I think. You don't think so?
I don't know. We'll see.
Running back might win MVP.
Yeah, I saw. Again, I hate to bring up stats because that one stat about Goff that wasn't true that was out there, but is it? So I'm just going to say, somebody sent me something that Saquon has had 11 runs where he's been tackled on the 1 yard line. That may or may not be true.
That one as well.
Saw that in 10 of them.
That's probably not true.
10 have turned
probably
into
not true.
touchdowns.
Don't want to throw my hat in the ring again, but I saw that as well.
As someone
10
who
of them
has
are
Saquon
Jalen.
on his fantasy team, it's true.
I am very happy that I both of these situations I have waited for somebody else to respond, so I didn't look like the person that just believes it. But boy, I've been caught with my pants down looking at a meme on the internet and taking it right to TV too. So can't trust anything out there because they're getting so damn good at this editing, and also the trolls will stop at no boundaries on getting a good
Photoshop,
which is great. But I could see how that happens because the tush push.
Yeah.
I could see that being the case. So if he had that many more touchdowns to his name.
11 seems like a lot, though. It seems like a lot.
I mean, it happened Sunday. That's how Jalen got his first touchdown. Saquon took it to the 1, and then Jalen took it.
Still 11 times, BC. That's a lot.
Jerome Bettis. Remember the end of his career? He had 20 yards rushing, 19 touchdowns.
Strong game.
That is not the actual stats. I was just trying to make a point.
He was the closer.
He was.
Something like that.
Get all the way down there, and then boom, Jerome Bettis. Bussy's going to take this thing home. And Bussy's going to get a touchdown, and he's going to break a league record, and he is going to have...
I didn't know that was one of his nicknames, Bussy.
Bussy, yeah. Bussy's taking it because the wheels on the bus go round and round. That was a song. They win one for him in Detroit, his hometown. Michael F. Florio, not to be confused with Mike Florio.
Sure.
Yeah, so this is fake, right? This is probably fake.
I don't know. Click on his name. Can you click on his name? Michael Florio, fantasy football NFL analyst, 81,000, NFL Fantasy, NFL Network. Feels like this guy's real. Florio's football show, once again, can't be doing that with Mike Florio existing. McQuaid does follow.
Okay. So now we're good.
Done deal.
If McQuaid is following, that means this guy is legit. So, yes, I think what you saw, what we are seeing now, real stat.
But, I mean, if Saquon, I believe, again, fact check, man, that's the last 2 non-quarterbacks to win MVP, both rushed for 2,000 yards. Is that right?
Who was it, Derek?
AP. And Sean Alexander.
Yeah.
2,000?
No, Sean didn't rush for. Did Sean win MVP? He didn't rush for 2,000.
I think he had 28 touchdowns or something.
He did. I was thinking Barry was the last in 98 when he rushed for 2,000.
How many touchdowns does Saquon have right now? We just add 11 to it, see what it should be. See what it could be. That team. All right, speaking of, Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Rogers, right now.
Connor? Yeah, hey, what's up?
Hey, good to see you. I hope all those SUV drones won't, go near your house. But something going on in Philly right now is that there's this conversation, and Brandon Graham was on a radio show. He mentioned A.J. Brown and Jalen not being as close this year as, recent memory. And then there's a shot on the sideline from the game this past weekend, and A.J. Brown and Devontae weren't too happy. And, obviously things have gone very well for Philly, but after they win every game, it seems like there is some sort of drama. When something like this is happening between a quarterback and a wide receiver, how do they kind of get back on the same page? Should I just bet on A.J. Brown to have 250 yards and 3 touchdowns on Sunday, or what's kind of the strategy there for Jalen and A.J.?
I don't know. Talk it out, I guess. Have a conversation. Usually those conversations happen when you're losing. What's their record? Aren't they
11-2?
Yeah, dude. This is what
they
it's
are
been
11-2.
This Eagles team. This is every week something. 11-2.
I mean, it's hard enough to win in this league in general, but if you're arguing and you're 11-2, yeah, I think there needs to be some voices of reason come in. I know they got some old heads on that team. Maybe Brandon Graham or one of those guys kind of mediate a conversation to go, hey, listen, we're 11-2. We got a chance to win a Super Bowl here. Can we just squash whatever the hell's going on here? I mean, unless there's a concerted effort to not give A.J. Brown the football, which I doubt that's going on because he's such a talented player. Like, figure it out, get on the same page. Obviously, whoever's calling plays for him, find a way to get him involved early. That always helps with, stud receivers. Like, shoot, I want to get the ball to Garrett and Tay as early as possible, get him in the flow. In some games, based on coverage, doesn't happen, But yeah, like receivers want the ball all the time. Quarterbacks are trying to get them the ball. But shoot, they're 11-2. They got to figure that thing out because it's hard to win in this league. They won 11 damn games, and maybe it shouldn't be at each other like that all the time. But shit, I don't know what's going on over there.
All year.
I got respect for all those guys, but yeah, maybe you get a veteran guy in there who's a little scary who can sit them both down and say, "You shut the fuck up. You shut. Okay, this is what's going on. And get this shit sorted out."
Brandon Graham on the Brandon Graham show was actually the one that kind of like outed a lot of this information. And
oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, so I think he did do that on purpose to be like, "Hey, elephant in the room." Like, there is a chance that he was like, this needs to be talked about and settled. Now, Brandon Graham, also veteran in the room, brought a lot of conversation onto the Philadelphia Eagles culture. And Sirianni actually went out this morning and kind of talked about Jalen and AJ's relationship. And Brandon Graham walked back what he said. But it's like, sometimes these moments of public embarrassment, which is kind of what's happening to their team right now, can really galvanize a group and make people have the conversations that they're having. Or this could just be this week's bullshit that's happening with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Every week there's shit that comes out of that. Literally, They win games, so many, 11 games. Think about that. Wow. It'd be so cool to be a fan of that particular team. Whether it's Sirianni talking to a fan that was talking shit to him, whether it's not winning by enough, whether it's how they operate a game, how a situation's handled. Every week it's just something over there. And I think that's Eagles football. I literally think that's just Eagles football.
I mean, offseason, the conversation was Jalen and Sirianni's relationship.
Oh, yeah, got to get better, can get better. Oh, these guys hate each other. Sirianni is a dipshit. And then now AJ goes passing. He's talking about now Kellen Moore is the OC. And to what you just said there about the guy calling the plays, we should assume AJ gets targeted 10, 15 times this weekend coming up?
I mean, listen, that could be the plan, but coverage can dictate certain things and reads, and if you get moved off the spot, you can get off of a read. A lot of stuff happens. It's not like I guarantee Jalen's not trying to avoid throwing the ball to his best playmaker, on the perimeter. But again, I think maybe a little perspective. You're 11-2. Like, that'd be pretty fucking sweet to be 11-2 right now. I mean, winning. They say winning cures everything, but obviously, there's some places where there's always going to be a little something, and maybe that's what they thrive on is a little bit of that drama. But I do think it can go, like when it gets out like this, I think it can bring you together, and if it's handled the right way, like a Wednesday, I'm sure one of those guys or both those guys are going to talk Wednesday and Thursday. They got a great chance to kind of squash it and move forward and take some accountability with that. But most of the time, if I'm really thinking about this from a player perspective, most of the time, it's like emotional things that are taken they're exaggerated beyond what they actually are. I mean, isn't like Jalen godfather to AJ's kid or something?
So you did know the situation. It looks like you looked into it a little bit. I don't know if that is.
No, but I remember I heard that a while ago. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like they hadn't been together for that long. But maybe that's not true. I thought I heard that somewhere. But anyway, I'm sure they're close. Like you
Tone Dink says that is true. We just looked it up. That is true. Holy hell! Wait,
that is true. Okay, well,
what happened?
It's all mumbo
I'm
jumbo.
sure they're going to figure this out. Like it's just argument between brothers, and I'm sure they got it sorted out. And this is probably overblown for the most part. Do they want the ball? Yeah. Are they upset not getting the ball? Yeah. Is Jalen probably upset he's not getting the ball to him? Yeah, of course. But is everybody happy that Saquon's having a great year and balling out and might win MVP? Shit, I hope so.
I hope so too.
I hope so.
Maybe
because if they're celebrating each other, that means they got a good culture. You got a good culture.
Speaking of,
but AJ's is probably saying, like most great players go, we're a better offense if I'm getting the ball. And objectively,
I would assume that's accurate. Yeah, I would assume that would certainly help, and especially at some point, I forget who I heard talking about it, but like for Saquon, there's going to be favorable matchups for A.J. Brown, and if Devontae's back and Goddard doing his thing. This is potentially also A.J. saying, hey, I need to be given these. When I get one-on-ones, we need to throw me the rock.
Yeah.
Right? Like that. This is potentially A.J. being a wide receiver who is dependent upon a lot of other people to do their jobs well. Offensive line has done their job well. Offensive coordinator has to do their job well. Quarterback has to do their job well. For you to get the ball and have success, maybe he's just saying, I'm sick of it. When I got one-on-one, I would like, because you, for a large portion of your career, we have watched change plays to get a guy the ball in his hands. Speaking of, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Aaron, on Sunday, you threw your 79th touchdown pass to Devontae, and that passed Big Ben and AB for 4th all-time, only trailing, I think it was Steve Young and Jerry Rice, Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, and Peyton and Marvin Harrison. So although it's been kind of a shitty year record-wise, that's pretty sweet. Have you had any chance to kind of just like reflect on how crazy that is, being in that pantheon with those other guys? Obviously, your accolades and numbers kind of speak for themselves, but as a Packers fan, thinking of playing with you and Jordy and James Jones and Tom Crabtree and all the other greats, how crazy is it that you and Devontae are you're always going to stand the test of time?
I can't believe you didn't say John Kuhn.
I should have. I was going to.
Upset. And Spanks will be upset too because he caught 5 of those, 4 in the regular season and 1 in postseason. Shout out to Spanks, but
yeah, Spencer.
I didn't know about the where we stood until after the game, and Tay actually texted me that. So that was pretty cool to be in that group of 4. With some obviously played against Peyton, and Jerry and Steve and Joe were 3 of my favorite players, being a Niner fan growing up. So it's pretty cool. I like thinking about the simplicity of the game, and it's a beautiful game in so many respects. But the touchdown to break Favre's Packer record was double stick, which is a concept as old as the West Coast offense. And that was pretty sweet. The one on Sunday to put us in the 4th was Q8. Q8's been around since the early 80s, Bill Walsh. It's sprint right option back then it was called. Now it's called Q8, where you're just trying to get the edge right there. Nice job by Ruck helping me get the edge. Tay just getting a release. And G running the world, getting this guy out of there outside releasing. It takes all those guys to do it. But I just love this. The beauty in the game is in the simplicity, and it just comes down to guys blocking, throwing and catching, being accurate with the football, and the simplest plays are the best plays. So shout out to Bill Walsh, Paul Hackett, those guys were mentioned with, and obviously I love playing with Tay. He's such a great player, great human being, and even though it's been such a rough year, one of the many beautiful bright spots has been being able to reconnect with Tay, and not just the on the field connection, but getting to sit next to him in meetings and pick his brain, and the text messages, at night when he's thinking about the game and I'm thinking about the game, or stuff I always appreciate.
Did you go to his Taco Bell at his house yet this year or no?
No, but I'll tell you what, I didn't know the kind of power that he had with Taco Bell, and I don't think I'm speaking out of line here, but I believe somebody came to him on our team and said, "Hey, why don't they have some menu item anymore?" And sure enough, I don't know what it was, yes. but I swear, like a week later, that item was back on the menu.
Shout out Tay.
Wow. Just in Jersey, so
well, that might have been droned
Taco
in.
Bell.
Those might have been droned in.
Might have been droned in. It might have been droned in. You're right.
Yeah, there's a chance.
Would have been one of them big ones though, not one of those little ones that the kids are playing. One of those big ones.
Well, of course, yeah. Crunchwrap Supreme, no sour cream. How you doing? Keep moving. Crunch, Twisty Taco Bell things.
Triple double.
There's those net guns that I've heard people have to shoot down the drones.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit!
But you need it. I don't know if you got a big enough net.
No, you need those
for the SUV
fishing.
drones.
You need those fishing dudes. You ever seen those fishers?
Oh yeah.
Who have that thing, and then it ends with them going, and it opens this big ass circle in the water, and they do it.
Yeah,
in
they're
slow
pretty
motion.
good at it. Yeah,
they're the ones that we need to throw that thing up.
But if we could wrangle one of those things, get it down there.
Yeah,
and then see what's inside, just real quietly,
forget the net. Why don't we put some Cowboys on this? Parker McCollum.
Yeah.
On a horse.
Lasso.
I mean, we can lasso this. They got great accuracy. I don't know if you've ever seen them.
Great movie, Cowboys and Aliens. Incredible movie.
Oh, man.
One of the all-time greats.
Did they rope them? Did the Cowboys rope them down or no?
They did. They roped a bunch of them down, yeah.
Daniel Craig.
James Bond.
Daniel Craig's in it. Really good movie.
Wow.
I think Keanu's in it, and
really
Nick Cage,
Ford.
Nick Nolte.
This sounds like a fake one.
No, it's one of the
it is
all-time
real.
greats.
It's real. It's
It's one of the all-time greats. I think Gary Busey's in it too.
What? What do I see right now? I feel like I'm looking at one of those stats on X right now. That's what I feel like is happening because everybody knows I'm the whole movie.
Got to pull it up with some screenshots. It is a great movie, first class.
And they were lassoing aliens.
Yeah,
you could say that. James Bond, Daniel Craig. He gets like this little wrist device in the
got the wrist thing.
1850s, and he's just fucking shooting down stuff. It's awesome.
Off a horse?
Yeah, he's horseback quite a bit.
Wow.
But I feel like at one time he roped a couple of them down.
I think he does early on before he gets the wrist device.
Think about how much strength you got to have to lasso and rope a UAP. They didn't know that's what it was called.
Right.
No.
They didn't know what it was, but it's an unidentified aerial phenomenon now.
That's correct.
Is that what it is?
Bingo.
Yeah. Because they tried to shoot it with that 6-shooter. That wouldn't happen. So they said, hey, let's get that lasso out. Let's get the lasso out.
Was there ever a standoff in the street down there with one of them? Did they do like what's that thing called where they walk 30 paces?
A duel?
Yeah.
Duel, yeah.
That's the thing that got Hamilton, Alexander.
That's right. Harrison Ford's the sheriff. He says, I don't like what's fucking going on in my town.
Yeah, and then Keanu and Gary Busey come and help out.
So they're not in the movie, it sounds like.
I don't think Gary is, but I thought Keanu might be.
Had me.
This is like the Washington football team's coaching staff back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it
No,
sounds like.
they're from the neighboring town. They come over, they ride over.
Okay. We'll be exiting ESPN here. We'll continue on YouTube, ESPN Plus, TikTok Live for now.
Yeah.
We've been warning people. Nobody's been taking us serious.
And here we are.
And here we are. Have we not?
Is that real?
Is
Is it real?
Yeah, they're saying they need to figure that out or that thing's going to be gone. We've been trying to say it. I was getting attacked for even saying it. TikTok people
Live.
Huh?
Buy it, Aaron. Shit.
Aaron, buy TikTok.
TikTok Live.
You could buy it.
Yeah.
You could buy it.
We're also on Disney Plus, I believe.
Wow.
If I had been in Cowboys and Aliens and gotten the royalties, I would have been able to buy it for sure.
We just said yes.
Yeah.
And I think you should say yes to whatever's on this particular channel next because they're great people. We'll continue our crop program on the internet. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. I feel like we did it.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys and Aliens is legit.
When was the movie made? Is it one of those ones?
Wasn't it nominated for an Academy Award?
Certainly not.
Best Picture.
I think it came out
2011.
There you go.
I think Michael Caine's in it too, but he doesn't have the British accent. Doesn't have the accent. It's kind of weird.
Michael Caine.
I don't think I know who Michael Caine is.
Michael
Ty,
Alfred for
Ty does
Batman.
it. Ty does
Yeah, see, there he is. All right. Okay, we got Olivia Wilde and
Yep, Wilde.
Olivia.
I don't know why they didn't show.
Her name's Wilde, right?
It is.
It's Olivia Wilde.
Yes.
Jay
They didn't
said
get. Why didn't they get Nick Cage and for Nick Cage or Nick Nolte or?
So it sounds like all the people you guys said were in the movie, not in the movie. Because if all those people were in the movie, they would.
No, I always said
They're aliens.
well, I think they had cameos.
Yeah. Pat, you know Michael Caine. He reads the first page of script and the last page of script, and his name's on both pages. He does a fucking movie.
This is the guy with Batman?
Yes.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah.
He's
the
a
man.
dog.
Yeah.
But he was looking out for him.
Don't. That was really good. Is that real though? Is that what he really said?
That was I believe I've been saying that quote from him for a long, long time. And if it's not real, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
It's going to be one of those.
I don't even
tweets.
care. I want it to be real. I want
that
it to be real. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
I thought that was Russell Brand who said that.
No, he said it, but the guy who regaled the story, is kind of not desirable now, unfortunately. So I don't know if we still talk about that.
Who was it?
I believe it was Kevin Spacey told that story on, I want to say it was
He's back,
Letterman or
right?
something. He might be. He just did a movie recently that just bombed big time. So his box office appeal's gone, unfortunately.
All right, back for you, Hawk.
President Underwood. Michael Caine has said that he will only take on a role if the part is on both the first and last pages of a script. I read the first page and the last page, and if the part they want me to do is on both pages, I do the picture. It's easy as that.
Wow.
Caine is an actor who retired from film at the age of 90. After a 7-decade career, he said he wanted to end on a high note as he felt the roles available to him at his age would not be leading roles. Hey, dog.
Also played Nigel Powers, father of Austin Powers.
True.
He did.
Mm-hmm. Oh, great movie back in the day. Congratulations on a great career.
Whoa.
Spy Who Shagged Me?
Michael Caine's best movie though is probably The Prestige or The Batmans.
Prestige is a great movie. Prestige.
And Goldmember is the only Austin Powers worth watching, let's be honest.
And that's strictly because you guys call the red zone the gold zone. And so it's like most prevalent in your life. I'd assume the other, Michael Caine is in that one. I assume the other one's good too, if we were to just watch them every day.
They're pretty good. They still hold up.
A bit nutty.
Michael Myers, wasn't he, didn't he did that game show where he was a fat British person.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember this game show?
Yeah, I do.
Michael Myers is just out there seemingly just fucking around, just doing whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Shrek 5's coming out.
Great movie. He's Canadian?
Yes.
Was Michael Caine all the Now You See Me's as well?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
That's great.
Great movie.
Him and Harry Potter.
What's going on in Canada, Gump? What's going on?
Not much. Haven't been keeping up, to be fair.
Sounded like you're not going to need a passport anymore or anything like that.
Talking about the state up
Perfect.
north?
Great.
State up north, huh? There's a lot of great actors from Canada, though, like Keanu Reeves. That's about it. But
He's Canadian? Mike Myers.
Someone does.
No, there's a lot of great Canadians. A lot of great Canadians.
Wayne Gretzky. I mean,
Brad
Sidney
Marchand.
Crosby.
Kid Canada, Nathan O'Rourke.
Oh, yeah, Kid Canada.
Nickelback.
Bieber.
Celine Dion.
Yeah, Rush.
Driz.
Who's that, Foxy?
Bieber's Canadian.
Bieber is Canadian.
He is. Yeah, he
Canada
is.
was trying to trade him to America. There was a time where that was happening. I think now everybody's kind of like,
Yeah, for the Merchant of Death.
go on.
Yeah.
No, that was not.
And Jay-Z.
That happened.
He's not Canadian.
I think Jay-Z's from New York.
Well,
Not from Saskatoon?
I thought he was part of the trade.
All right, let's get a break. Bobby Wagner will join us on the other side.
Ah, Bobby. Hey,
Hey, Bob.
You know Bob?
big fan of Bob's.
Walt's paid
Hall of Fame. Gold jacket guy.
Okay. We'll be talking to a gold jacket guy on the other side who's the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee from the Washington Commanders. Aaron, we can't thank you enough for your time, brother. Look out for those drones, for real.
Hey, listen, I'm going to go after this, and I'm going to watch a little bit of film, and then I'm going to watch the most important film, and that's Cowboys and Aliens.
That's right.
All right? Just so I can be ready for tonight. And
because you're doing
be
your-
safe out there. All my fellow New Jerseyans, be safe out there.
Yeah, for a lot of things
Film
that
it.
happen.
Film all
Yeah,
of it.
film
Okay?
it.
Especially if you
You
live
better
out by Woody and Trump's course. Film everything.
So, we're learning more about Bedminster. We just did. What's that PE thing 5 you're doing tonight?
CE5.
There it is. Good luck.
CE5. 5E.
I hope
Fifth
you come.
encounter. Close encounters of the fifth kind. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Cheers. Shout out Stephen Greer, legend.
So are you. Ladies and gentlemen, 4-time NFL MVP, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
Shout out Keanu Reeves.
You did a couple times today. You put him in movies, he's not in. All right, let's get to a break. Those drones seem to be a real deal.
Yeah. Huge.
What the fuck's going on over there?
I don't know. Hopefully,
not
we'll
hiding.
find
It's
out.
got all those blinking lights. Like if it's trying to hide, it's not doing a good job.
And it makes it sound too. So
Well,
it's not hiding at all.
Probably some kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We probably piece this together. You know how in Rookie of the Year, those kids were trying to make the boat?
Yeah.
They were trying to build a boat. These
Yeah.
kids in this area actually decided to build a super duper duper drone that is as big as what seemingly a helicopter.
there is a ton of reports about these drones. This particular video has been community noted, unfortunately, but
No.
What'd it say?
it says it's a helicopter.
Sounds like one.
It was the Costco,
It's not a
guys.
helicopter.
That thing
Double
is so
boom.
low for a helicopter.
That sounds
they-
like a helicopter. You
They
listen
landed
to
on
it.
the
does.
ground.
It
Sounds
sound like a helicopter. What if that was actually Trump's helicopter
True.
landing on his golf course?
There's a very good chance.
We have sound on this?
No, it's muted.
Oh, we need sound.
How about one of the houses closer to it gets some footage? I mean, I would assume they all see it, right?
No, they beam them.
What's going on with drones over there? I'm happy that's a helicopter, not a drone, though.
But there are a lot of videos of the drones.
That one is not one of them?
I believe. Well, it was community. I don't know.
There's a bunch of different
If it's
videos.
not, as long as it's not-
Smaller ones. Smaller.
It was on Fox
Right?
News as far as like all of this happening.
is it smaller than those ones? Than that one?
It's hard to tell.
Need them to be small.
Yep.
We need to be.
I did see I think a Jersey senator or somebody, some kind of council member ever said like, yeah, we're
Senator.
when we get eyes on them, they disappear. We can't find them. I did see that. He was interviewed.
On Fox News.
We need them to be small. Because we need to be able to beat them in an Oklahoma drill.
Exactly.
If we can't catch them,
That'd be a problem.
their change of direction seems pretty elite. so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gravitational.
They're scat
They
back.
pull
It'd
G's
be
when they're
great.
moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can get them, though.
Just a bunch of
We can get
Darren
anything with
Sproles.
force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about us.
Yeah.
Think about what we
Come
got.
on now. You got to remind them. You got to remind them of who's down here.
Yeah. You might have us in the sky. Okay, you got us. Way to go. You got drones at this. This is a helicopter. A New Jersey State Trooper helicopter. All right. Sounded like one. I'm very happy that is not a thing.
Okay.
Good. We're in good spot.
I still think it's a thing.
Somebody should tell Aaron. What's that?
I still think it's a thing.
Yeah,
I just think that particular video was not the thing.
But it is a thing.
Because, like,
Are they that big?
Yes.
oh, we don't know that yet for sure.
The ones that that's why they're so worried.
They're calling them
massive.
SUV sized in some of these reports, which, I mean, if you think about it, kind of describes a helicopter. But there are some videos out there that
Is
appear to be
everybody
the
seeing
drones.
SUV-sized planes called helicopters up here?
Well, yeah, we've seen a helicopter take off. I think if you just search the SUV
That's what the
size,
community note took you to, though. It's
Yeah.
the exact
Oh,
same
okay, okay.
helicopter.
if you search
The lights and everything
SUV,
are the exact
Okay, yeah.
same.
Sweet. Happy to hear that is not in a
Yeah.
drone. That has been.
if you search the SUV drone, they do pull up different videos.
Can we do that? Can we pull up the SUV?
They're not quite as big as that one, though, right?
I need them to be small. In my eyes, need them to be small. Because my theory is we can beat them in football.
How big SUVs we talking here? Because sometimes you'll get an Uber and they'll say an SUV's coming and that thing can't fit 3 people in it.
That's true.
That's bullshit.
So,
Okay, we'll get to a break.
okay.
Thank God that wasn't a fucking outer space thing. I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah.
I mean, what changes if it is?
Well, now I got to change my mindset on these things. Because everything's so small all the time. I'm like, all right, that's literally what I think.
Yeah.
If we can communicate, we'll figure it out. We're big, dumb humans. Okay? You're going to have to deal with our size. We're super giants to these things.
Bingo.
Just like,
maybe.
Well, that's the thing. Now we got SUV size. It's like maybe they're bringing in, a different.
Sure. Different species.
Maybe they're a little bit bigger.
Some of them
They've
are
been
8
sending
feet.
their kids. They've been sending the little kids at first in the small things.
What's this? This is from Fox 5, New York.
Do they have pet animals, you think?
That looks like a drone. What do they say about this?
So
That's definitely a drone.
The tweet for
Pet
this
human.
says the FBI is investigating a cluster of what looked like to be drones and a possible fixed-wing aircraft spotted flying in Jersey skies. They don't know.
Oh,
what
that's
it
an
is.
airplane,
Video,
actually, right there.
Galactica.
Video
That's
of
an
mysterious flying objects.
Airplane.
Why would they have blinking lights like that?
Yeah, they want us to
Yeah.
see them. I don't.
They follow the FAA rules. You got to have your landing lights and all these lights on.
They should.
They're not following our rules.
That thing was the size of an SUV right there.
That thing was an airplane.
Yes. That was a Boeing.
You can see the engines on it. I mean, come on now.
All right, so we're good still.
Right.
All right, good. We got these things in football if we need to.
Yeah.
Who brought this to our attention? Was it Aaron?
It doesn't seem like something you'd do.
Think so? Right there it was?
Yeah.
Somebody tell Aaron that these were planes and helicopters. And although it is foggy.
Oh, yeah, it was a police officer who brought it to his attention.
Oh, yeah.
Mario.
Shout out Mario.
Mario.
Politician.
And then that senator, though, that congressman did tweet about that.
He did.
Yeah.
He did,
I mean, that was real. But who brought it?
To his
Did Aaron bring it to the senator?
Just tell Mario.
Oh, boy.
The FBI is investigating.
So many layers.
The FBI's investigating?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, very real.
Speaking of Mario, shout out Luigi.
I don't think that is.
No, it's not the time for that.
I
Not
don't
right
think
now,
that's how
Tone.
that goes. I don't think that's going to be a thing. This is going to be a full thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty deep in it there for a bit. Pep, I was on his Twitter account there for a bit that they put out there, reading through it, his replies, seeing the whole thing. Goes through. I think we saw his LinkedIn.
Yeah. Well, I just stand with my Italian brethren.
You say that
we
about
don't know.
Mussolini, too?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a break, but let's not do that. Let's go the complete opposite way. Let's make this show much better, quicker. This guy's a good guy. Great guy. I don't know how that whole thing ends up, by the way. That's a wild scene.
Very much.
Just like that.
Yeah, but how did all, that's crazy. That's crazy because we all watched it unfold. And then now we're seeing the opposite end of it. And it's like it's a show. It's like all of it. I don't.
They got to shoot one down. They're going to shoot one down eventually.
You're talking about the UAP.
Yeah,
Sometimes he's talking about Luigi, who you probably don't even know about because you haven't been on the
I
internet.
know.
Okay.
I know.
All right. Well, complete opposite end. Let's talk about somebody that's making the community happy.
Yep.
And society happy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee from the Washington Commanders, NFL OG. He obviously played for the Seahawks for a long time. He was on the Rams for a year, back to the Seahawks, and then now he is on the defensive side of a Washington Commanders team who is starting a new chapter in a very successful fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, legend Bobby Wagner.
What up?
Bobby, sorry we had to finish another conversation before the conversation with you. There's a lot going on in the world, the internet.
Yeah. I was listening a little bit. I kind of got lost with the Luigi shout out.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just you focus on ball and making the world better. We appreciate the hell out of you. We'll live on the internet and follow everything that's taking place. Bobby, let's talk about this. You go over to Washington. There's immediate success this year. And obviously, Jaden's talked about, Quinn's talked about. Is he the reason, Dan Quinn, the reason you're there? Obviously, because your history in Seattle. And whenever that video is released from the Washington Commanders social media team, where everybody's talking about you, the human, as opposed to the player, and what Coach Quinn had to say about you, does that make you emotional? And is there any times where you kind of sit back and think, wow, I've done good in this world?
Man, when I saw that video, it's actually they showed the video in the team meeting room, and so that's kind of how watching that video is how I found out I was nominated. And so when I was watching, we entered the defensive meeting and was like, "Oh, we about to watch a video about leadership." And I'm like, "All right." So then I'm watching the video, and then like 30 seconds to a minute in, like they were just talking about me, and I was like, "All right, we got to move on to the next person." Like there's other people. And then as you keep going, I'm like, okay, like I'm up for something. And then, they said it at the end because I was like, man, they everybody was saying some really cool things, really nice things. And I just think I'm blessed to be in this position and to be nominated for this award again. But just like our team is a really dope team. Like we have really dope people in our building. And so it's been cool to be around this energy.
Whenever you sign there, Dan Quinn, his message to you in that video, I would recommend everybody to listen to. It's very cool to hear a coach talk about his player this way. The relationship is obviously much deeper than just on the football field. But whenever he gets his head coaching opportunity, and obviously he was at the Falcons, had success, not the most amount of success. He ends up going back to being a defense coordinator with the Cowboys. I think he had a couple options, stayed in Dallas. When he goes to Washington, do you automatically assume you're going to go with him? And did you know he was going to have success as quickly as he did?
We tried to make it work a couple times in Dallas, and he tried to get me, but it just didn't work out. And then when he got the Commander's job, he was one of the first people that called me and was like, what you think? And I'm like, I'm good. And we just had to figure out the numbers and stuff like that. So it's definitely like once I saw that, and then they brought in Coach Norton, who I've been around for a very, very long time. It just the steps that was being made just made more sense. And, I think from a culture standpoint, that's really what I felt the organization was missing. Somebody that's out front and center, creating a really cool culture that not only the players and people within the building believe, but people outside the building believe as well. And so, I know we had the guys, a good mixture between older guys and younger guys that can really expedite this process. But, I think it's between the coaches, the players, everybody just bought in real quick, and it doesn't surprise me.
It's been fun to watch. A couple Hail Marys, both to the Lord and on the football field, obviously, have taken place as well. Is this a team of destiny? Who knows? Speaking of destiny, long time in the league. D-Bud has a question for you, Bob.
You've had an incredibly long and productive career. I think 13 seasons now, over 100 tackles, tied with Ray Lewis. Only the Iron Man, I think, is ahead right now. What's kind of been the key to that longevity? Being out there, being available. What's your off seasons like? How do you take care of your body, and how has that changed throughout your long career?
Man, I think it's just staying active. I think, I forgot who told me this advice, but as you get older, you have to just stay active. And so whenever I get done with the season, whenever it ends, I might take like a week off. But after that, I start like playing basketball, or I try to get in the pool. I just always stay active. And I think that's just allowed me to stay in the best shape. I do yoga a lot, which I feel like a lot of guys should get into. And it's just like you try to do the same things in the off season or same things during the season that you would do in the off season. So whatever I'm doing right now during the season, I try to, like, even though we're not playing games, I'm trying to still do that same routine. So my body's just constantly used to being pushed in that facet. So I think that's probably played the biggest part.
Congrats, man. Iron Man, London Fletcher, is that who we were talking about? Obviously, Washington, great. Have you chatted with him at all? Do you guys know each other?
Yeah. We've, I think actually it kind of came out last week. Like I randomly just reached out to him just to get advice, and he was really, really gracious with his time. And we kind of stayed in contact. And I think the first time I actually met him in person was last year when we played the Commanders. And then when I tied that or had the 13th straight 100 tackles, I'm looking at him across the room doing an interview, and I'm just like, dang, like he was one of the people that helped me, like him, Ray Lewis, Mike Singletary, all those guys were gracious with their time, and so I feel like it's like whenever somebody reaches out to me, I try to do the same thing.
That's awesome. You done good, Bobby. Hell yeah. You done good. You still repping yourself?
Of course. Of course. There's no going back. There's no going back. I'm committed.
Yeah, whenever I heard you say earlier, he was trying to get me to Dallas, it just didn't work out or whatever. It's like Bobby's good negotiator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on you and Jerry having to have conversations, or Steven having to have conversations to figure it all out. Awesome stuff. I have nothing but respect for that, obviously. AJ has a question for you.
Bobby, obviously your offense is playing well, and Jaden Daniels, a young quarterback. I guess how quickly did you know that, okay, we got our guy, like this dude is going to be a dude?
Honestly, in OTAs, he was coming in so early to put in work and learn the playbook. And then it probably was that our first practice in training camp where, we lined up against each other and he started talking trash. And I was just like, okay, like he feel confident in the playbook. But, when you watch him put in the work, and so he earned the right to be confident. And, once we saw him in the preseason and just saw how he moved and the decision he was making, and he does it with humility, which I respect a lot. So we knew pretty early on.
Do you chirp? No. You're a quiet guy, or you chirp?
I'm a silent assassin.
I like that. Jaden try to talk shit to you?
Of course. And he's not a match. I was in the same locker room with Richard Sherman, and Richard wasn't beating me. So
what? So do you respond or you don't say anything?
No, I say stuff. It's just, it's between me and him. I don't got to say it loud like everybody else.
Oh, okay. So we're whispering. We're letting.
Yeah. You beat the back and you can't touch the quarterback during practice. So you beat the back and you go and let him know, like, hey, you're going to be sacked, right? That's not a pass. And you just little constant chirping. Once you open the door, there's no stopping.
Yeah, and then casually jog by, right? We're not stopping for an interaction. That was a sack. You know that, right? And then we're
100%. Really quick. Just really quick.
Drive by.
Drive by.
Yeah. And Jaden's thinking about that, too. The next play.
100%. He's thinking about the next play, too.
Yeah, getting a play call in from Cliff again, please, one more time. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Or it's like he's trying to check the play at the line of scrimmage, and I'm like, oh, I don't think that's the right check, and make you second guess, whether or not that's the right check or not.
It is because now he has to not only confirm with you, but the rest of the team as well. Because now every offensive lineman too is like, yeah, is this the right? So you're just dancing with him the whole time. I respect that.
The whole time.
That could be why Jaden is unflappable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Could help add to it. It seems like he's got all the characteristics to be a great. Can't wait to watch him continue to go. Speaking of a great, switching teams, Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Bobby, earlier this year when you guys played the Steelers, I saw you got to catch up with Russ a little bit, and obviously he is playing incredible this year. Are you surprised by that at all? And we saw in Hard Knocks last year that the team seems to love him in the Steelers locker room. How was it catching up with Russ, and are you surprised by his success at all?
No, I'm not surprised by his success. I feel like he's one of those guys that loves to prove people wrong. And I think, there was a period in time when you had a lot of people that was doubting him, and a lot of people was kind of like writing him off. And so, any stuff like that, I feel like makes him, even more hungrier. But, it was really cool to be out there playing against him. It's our second time. So now we 1-1. And it was just fun to be out there, fun to hear him make the checks and things like that. But it's fun to see him having fun. Like, I don't know if he was having fun in Denver. And I don't know if the team embraced him like they should have. So you can see, I didn't watch Hard Knocks, but I watched some of the clips. And you can see the connection that he has with Coach Tomlin and the players. And that means something as a player to have that type of connection with the people around you, and they believe in you. That brings the best out of you.
You should watch that Hard Knocks. I know you got to watch film and everything. I know you got to do it tonight, right?
Tonight. Episode 2.
Tonight, 9:00. I know you got film and everything, and you've been in a few buildings now, so you understand. But as somebody who was only in the Colts building, couple different regimes, obviously, so run differently, getting a chance to see Tomlin's building. As somebody who's obviously been a fan of Tomlin, Tomlin's been around a long time. I'm from Pittsburgh. Getting a chance to watch the way he operates, getting a chance to watch the way Harbaugh runs his team, Zach Taylor, and then also Stefanski. I'll ask you, what have you learned that buildings are vastly different or more the same?
No, they're different. They're definitely different.
I think so. And Hard Knocks really showcases it. But I want to get your take on where you've been. There is differences, right?
Yeah, there's definitely differences. You know, the way that Pete operates versus the way that Coach McVay operates, the way Coach Quinn operates. Everybody is different. But I would say you can tell a winning culture, though, even though it might be different. The foundation of bringing everybody together, everybody being selfless, everybody doing what you need to do, like being a true professional. You know, all those things are the same. It's just the style in which they get to that end point may be different.
Yeah. How's Quinn? It seems like he is he drops fuck a lot, I think, right? Isn't that
Yeah, definitely. You know, he definitely does that. And I think he got you know, he likes to bring in like the Marine style and the boxing, and Coach Carroll was more like basketball and things like that. So everybody has their thing that they bring, but you know, Coach is fun. I mean, I think he definitely wants to connect with the players. He listens to the players, and as a player, you always love a coach that listens to you. That you know, you have all these analytics and all these new things, but they still value your opinion and value you know, how you see things too.
Yeah, I love that. Smart coaches collab with their best football minds, even if it's on their team that they're coaching. Every video they put out of him speaking to you guys after the game, and they have to mute out all the fucks, I'm like, all right, I like this guy. I like the way he operates, because that's like not filtering himself. Now, there's some people that just don't swear, but like Dan Quinn, the way he talks after those games, I've learned a lot about him. I don't think I fully knew who he was. That's why I love these inside looks like on Hard Knocks. It's like, oh, I like this guy's juice. I like the way he operates. You can see why he has had success and why he got another head coaching gig. Go ahead, AJ.
Bobby, was Pete Carroll the way that we see him as fans watching him? Was he always that juiced, have that much energy at all times whenever you saw him throughout the day? And do you think he eventually gets back into coaching?
100%. He was like that from the day I met him. You know, there might have been a span too where I think there was like a movie or a documentary or something where it was like a vegan diet, not vegan diet, but plant-based diet or something. I feel like he tried that and he got even more energy, and it was pretty crazy. And so he's always been like that. I don't know if he wants to continue coaching. I feel like if the right opportunity came, you know, he would definitely embrace it. But I'm not sure. I think he's enjoying, you know, where he's at right now. He's always a guy that's in the moment, but you know, if he wants to do it, he has the energy to do it.
Maybe with Bill Belichick going to college, somebody's going to be like, hey, Pete, don't you have pretty good
any thoughts?
Pretty good thoughts on how a professional team is run. Also have had great success in college ball. You have the energy, the juice. Have you heard about any of this, what's happening in college? Bill Belichick might be running like an NFL organization down at UNC if he and they choose for it to happen. He came on the show yesterday and talked about how you need a director of player personnel now, you need a salary cap person, you need a GM, you need a head coach, and whenever you view like veteran free agency period, that's the transfer portal. The draft is like recruiting from the beginning. He's like the similarities now between college and the NFL. And I know you want to be a GM one day. I think there's a chance that there's going to be a lot of GM jobs opening up at these college places. Maybe Pete Carroll goes back and does all that. Maybe.
Be sweet.
That would be sweet.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think like you said, I think you seeing it kind of just the shift. I think the way they pay players now is, I think it's like more direct from the university versus pool money that they raise. I saw I think Andrew Luck is the GM for Stanford now, and so now you have a GM. Like, do you have former players that had great careers go back and be GMs of their former teams? Like, it's gonna be, give it like maybe 2-3 years, it will look like the NFL.
And then think about NFL GM jobs that are open. They'll at least have a chance now. It doesn't have to be an unknown scout or a director of player personnel somewhere or an assistant GM somewhere. It might be like, hey, did you see what this dude did at insert college here? His roster construction's this, his negotiation is this, his style of running a building. It's like, I think that's going to potentially be like an audition, just like college football has been. I think that's going to be a place for guys that want to run an NFL team. Now there's an opportunity in college. Got to have resources, though. Got to be able to do it. But if you
know what's going to be interesting? What's going to be interesting is you have like these guys. Let's say let's say you have a really good quarterback, a really good college athlete, and he makes, let's say, $1 million, from NIL or whatever, and then his draft grade is low. Is he might be projected like 6th, 7th round. That's probably around like 500,000. Like, will you have more players just stay in college, make as much money as you can, and not even try to go to the pros? Like,
it's happening. Yeah. I mean, Dylan Gabriel probably could have went after last year, in there. Probably what you're talking about. Instead, goes over to Oregon. Now he's in the national championship hunt. I think he's getting paid very well. Has obviously had a great season with the Oregon Ducks. There's a lot of I think Cam Ward is coming back for like his 8th year, or trying to come back for his 8th year. There's a lot of that happening at the quarterback position.
That's crazy. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they figure it out.
And you said 1 million. I think you need to yodel.
Yeah, that's going up. I'm being conned.
That's because you're trying to GM one of these teams someday. Let's start these. Let's make sure we get realistic expectations on this entire thing. Hey, good luck with the Walter Payton Man of the Year. Obviously, that is phenomenal stuff, giving back to your community and to society, not just playing great at football. Good luck the rest of the way with the Commanders, and you guys have been awesome to watch. So thank you for contributing to football in the way that you guys have this season.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, Bobby.
All right, let's get to a break. On the other side, we got to wrap up all the storylines that are still outstanding from the day. I'm going to run to that bathroom because remember, we're supposed to take a break.
Yep.
Then we found out that the helicopter was a helicopter.
Correct.
Breaking.
And the other one was a plane. That's what people were saying.
Potentially.
Potentially. We don't know.
We don't know. No community note on that one.
Let's keep our eyes to the sky. Fog's too dense, though, today. Crazy fog today. Was there crazy fog for you?
Yes, there was.
I think there was over there.
Is that their cover? Is that from them?
Yeah, I can't see much of fog.
Like throwing a smoke grenade or whatever? Is that what they're doing?
Shh. Maybe. Woke up this morning, Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
Scary, spooky.
Yeah. Whoa.
Could not look out my fucking window.
No.
Nuts.
Scary driving in that.
Yeah. Yeah, because you turn on the lights, you see more.
Yeah.
Turn off the lights, you don't see enough.
No.
Sure.
You got little spotlighters you see, but do you?
The fog lights.
Yeah, those things.
Those don't work.
That was a good racket. That was like those little balance. That was like those little balance bands that they were selling. This morning was a little scary drive, I will say.
Yeah.
Waking up, not being able to see anything else. What's out there? I don't know.
There's monsters.
Visibility is 4 feet outside right now. Okay.
Not good.
Fucking great. Should I be breathing this stuff in?
It's like the mist.
Yeah.
It was cold too, a little chilly.
It was. Well, it's going to be real chilly. I think that's why it was so foggy. Got a nice little cold front coming in.
So the fog is the hot meeting the cold.
Yep.
And if it's not super windy, it's a tornado when it's windy. Yep. If it's not windy, it's just fog.
Just fog.
It's the atmosphere in the universe trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You two aren't supposed to run into each other like
That's
that.
right. Should have checked the dew point. I'm sure it was pretty dewy this morning as well.
Because it had to be moist to get to the fog.
Bingo.
But the cold came in and said, excuse me, I'm coming.
Mm-hmm. Let's turn that dew into frost.
It's coming.
How about the other night? Was that last week?
Yeah.
It'll never
Wednesday.
be that windy again for the next 100 years.
Truly.
It won't.
I don't know.
It won't.
I hope not.
That felt like a tornado.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Felt like we were in the middle of one for like 3 hours straight. It wasn't just like a little bit. And then it was so cold immediately afterwards. And it's like, wow, that was no fun, whatever that was.
I got a flagpole. The big old American flag up there. I thought it was going to break that thing right in half.
You put a spotlight up on that thing during the night?
I got about 3 or 4 spotlights, yeah.
Better.
Laying them proud to be
Get buy the biggest American flags I can off of Amazon. Just continue to put them up. I'm seeing that. I'm trying to get one up that's like 20 by 30 feet.
Hell yeah. That'd be very Texas A&M of you. They got
they
subbed it out for a Texas A&M flag this last time. The first time we were down there was a big American flag. Then they subbed it out for the Texas A&M. And if you watch Tyler, the beard, whenever he hits that field goal, behind it you see the big. It's the biggest flag. It's big. It's very, very big.
Awesome.
What's that? What's that? It's your face.
You're going to take down an American flag for a college flag? Okay.
I don't know if that's always a thing. Maybe it's every other day. So they say, hey, we're Texas A&M Aggies who are Americans. One day to the next.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe that is why they lost to Texas, though. I didn't think about that. When I saw the flag, I thought to myself, whoa, I was going to call out that American flag immediately upon starting this program.
Not there.
That's all you need to know. Then it was this big Texas A&M flag, though. I mean, it was perfect amount of wind, it felt like, just blowing it. Because with those big flags, you don't got a lot of wind. Guess what that thing's doing?
Drooping.
Big
hanging. Sleeve.
Not great.
I think they changed it to a dude perfect flag before the game, didn't they?
Yeah.
Before kickoff.
Big DP flag up there?
That
Pretty
makes
sure.
sense.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Tyler.
There it is. Look how big that fucking thing is.
Dang, that thing's awesome.
That's a stadium on the right side.
It's cooler when it's
America.
not that.
It's a huge flag, though. Huge flag. All right, let's get to a break. We'll wrap up this particular program on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. Like who?
Dude Wipes.
Dingle bells, dingle bells, dingle all the way. Use these wipes and see your cheeks be happier today. Hey! Dude Wipes, dingle bells.
Can I get a hit of that?
Yeah, these really are. I mean, these smell so good.
You guys get a nice
What,
sniff.
like what?
dingle
Like,
bell?
what do they smell like?
I told you, it smells like a fucking
that's the
nice
best.
balsam fir.
It's made of clove and shit.
It does.
Remember?
That's on the ingredients
Dude
list?
Wipes Dingle Bells have a fresh, festive scent and are made with clove and other jolly shit. So all holiday smells are mixed into
The
a Dude
best.
Wipe.
That's the best.
Yeah, it is.
It smells like the nicest hotel lobby bathroom you've ever been in your life.
Just imagine what it does to your cheeks. I have. It's phenomenal. And then your pants, too.
We're like a high.
So thankful because your butthole doesn't smell like poop anymore.
Yep.
It smells like Christmas.
Exactly.
Everybody wants their butthole to smell like Christmas.
They do.
Use Dude Wipes Dingle Bells. Available now. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice might change your life. Like Dingle Bells Dude Wipes. Take 5.
5.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those. Essentially, like it's
Dan, another farting Dan Orlovsky situation just took place.
What do you mean? It's unbelievable.
Your butt was just talking. Okay,
I did not fart.
Dan, this is 2 times now, Dan. This is the Orlovsky thing.
You guys be serious right now, or are you messing with me?
Dan, listen to this clip. This is you just moments ago.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those. Essentially, like it's
Dan.
I mean, undeniable. You guys definitely just freaking idiots.
We swear.
You guys 1,000%
No, we swear. We swear.
There's no way.
No one did that, Dan. What did you eat?
I haven't even ate two guys.
Hey, if I were you right now, I'd go grab some Dude Wipes.
My wife texted me. She said, "Oh my gosh, McAfee Show, I'm dead." I go, "Babe, I promise you on everything I did not fart."
Who runs your Twitter account?
AB. I do.
What's this all about? I would like to know, in that situation where your butthole started talking, what did I do?
I'm here to be serious with you, man.
What are you, chucking a glass of milk, eating some fruit over there? Get you some coffee? Get that butthole a little bit more active?
I haven't ate. I'm eating yogurt. I have 1,000 text messages right now of people going, "Oh my gosh." I'm like, I just wanted to have like a quiet Tuesday.
I don't even know why we're going to have another hour. Maybe we run that clip.
Just, yeah. On loop.
We have the video. Shams, let's let you judge here.
It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's...
I need to hear the context. I want to give our guy...
Shams, shut up! He said it sound like a fart.
What did AJ vote?
It's a fart all day long, Kirk. You know that.
Has anybody voted no?
Dan.
I'll be the captain of Team No today.
We need you to do a tie-breaking vote. Is that okay?
Sounds good to me. It's impossible to be at the top at both of those, essentially. Like, it's...
There's no doubt. I mean, I like how he just kept on going right there.
When he was talking, he didn't even break stride as that thing came out. He went and got the buggy, went to the store, grabbed some dude wipes to wipe those ass cheeks, just like I assume you do as well, Cabal.
You have to go dry, wet, dry. Toilet paper, white toilet paper. If not, you're really risking the rest of the day having the swamp ass. You know, Dan Orlovsky, man, he got to accept that, man. He got to wear that with a pride. One thing that really bothers me when people do not take credit for it. You know, if somebody says, oh, that was you that farted, I get upset when it wasn't me. I'm like, no, when have I ever not claimed it when it was mine? You should claim it.
But all those airports, people are traveling today, looking up at the ESPN, Dan Orlovsky farts. What's wrong with this guy?
The closed captioning person, whoever it is, they got it. I believe it said inaudible, muffled, and it said Dan farts, ! I think a couple times.
Wow.
This guy sucks. This guy's the worst of all time.
Almost.
Timmy.
Corbin, that was good.
He's the worst we've ever seen.
Hey.
I think you're nervous in front of Bob Dylan.
No.
I think that's probably...
No. One more shot. One more.
You want the Texas guy to get one more kick? All right, how about this? Kirk Herbstreit said he'll match another $200,000. I will as well. This is an $800,000 kick, Corbin.
Yeah!
This guy's got no shot.
Come on, Harry.
Come on, Herbie. Timmy, you want a match?
Yeah, I'll get in there too.
Okay, all right, sweet.
Is that 1.2?
Yeah, it is.
$1.2 million kick.
Yeah. Holy hell.
Let's go.
Everything just got very real all of a sudden. That first attempt was god-awful. But now you got a $1.2 million operation. All you got to do is kick the ball through those uprights. This looks shorter than 33 yards. Stanford.
Is that legally binding?
Yeah.
That's a legally binding offer.
Yeah, we got you,
You're
Timmy.
the lawyer, Corbin. Is that a real offer?
Yeah, it is. It's on camera.
It is? Okay.
Hey, bro, somehow he got under that ball.
Yeah, he said it was like a 9-iron. That was more like a duff of a wedge, bub.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and try to maybe bring out the 1-iron.
On one hand, we've never seen that.
$1.2 million.
Come on, Corbin. 1.2.
Holy hell. That's a lot of money. You're a lawyer. You live nice. You wear suits. But $1.2 million could change a lot of things. On SEC Championship Saturday in Atlanta for $1 million. That got pretty expensive. That was too close. Thought we got hustled. Bob Dylan coming out on Christmas. The movie's supposed to be Oscar-worthy. Thankfully stopped by. Herbstreit's awesome. Reese, that got a little bit of nerve-wracking there for a few moments. Back to you.
Why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I'd get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't, because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it, and your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. If you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, or maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, you know, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions. There's a reliance on coaching. There's a reliance on preparation. There's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think players who played for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why I, at times, I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
Wow.
Nobody's picking Georgia's
As a lot of people have said up here, this game's already been played, and who won? Who's that coming down the track? It's the mean machine in the red and black. Mean machine in the red and black. Ain't nothing finer in the land. Than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Go dogs. Go dogs. Go dogs. Shake 'em.
Is that it? Is that it? Is that it?
Is that the final?
Does that mean you're picking Georgia?
Oh, no.
Is that it?
What are you doing?
This Texas team is built with so much money. Steve Sarkisian came over here in his tight-ass pants. I picked against this Texas Longhorns team last week. How could I ever do it again? Well, we're in the Peach State, and your dogs are barking. Give me Georgia to win the SEC championship. Welcome to the SEC, Sark. It was cute. Bulldogs by a million.
Because I said easy.
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Connecticut. Lovely place here on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Dano?
Oh, what's up, Pat McAfee?
Dan, you are too young to listen to this show. I can tell. I think. How old?
I'm not Dan. I am Owen.
Mitt. Owen, how old are you?
It's so different.
I am at 8.5.
Oh, that's cute.
8.5.
If you're telling us you're half age, you're too young to be listening.
That's a record.
It stinks.
What's on your mind, pal?
What do you want to talk about, Owen?
I want to talk about how inspiring this show is, and how you're inspiring this whole entire world with how you're talking about sports and how you're talking about your life experience.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Love you, Owen.
Thank you,
Owen, I'm taking her on
And
the
also, fuck Boston College.
I will let Owen know, if you're still listening, Owen, you're inspiring.
Best kid ever.
Owen, the way you talk about sports is inspiring.
Yes!
I didn't know 8.5 could do that.
Wow.
Shout out.
Hey,
What?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Be your friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts right now. Football is awesome. That's AJ Hawk. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tony's here. 9-year. And if, wow, you know what? That fire tattoo, is that what that is right there on
There's a little bit of fire in there, yeah.
Woo, holy, yeah, it was peeking through the jug and the hammer, and it was just kind of staring at me there as I looked over. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That looks really cool.
Thank you.
Has that always been there?
Yeah. Well, for the last 6 months, 5 months.
Jeez Louise. I'm so sorry. That's
nope.
You got a face on there?
Sleeves rolled up. That's why.
There's a
Dang, Tone.
Oh, that looks, is that dragon?
It's awesome.
Is that what that is?
No, she's holding fire.
It's your wife,
Oh,
right?
she's holding fire.
No. It's a Greek goddess of family.
You should shave your
It is
arm.
about his wife. Family.
Yeah.
Family, obviously. Family. 9-year NFL vet. That looks super cool, though. You need to know that.
It does.
Whoever your tattoo artist should be proud of the reality of the paint, the art.
The realism.
There it is.
He did Connor and I.
Yeah.
Really? Is that the William?
No, I got that one in Denver. I got my right ass cheek just completely covered.
Nice.
Just like colored in, right?
Yeah.
Just ink?
Oh, like MGK's?
Just a butt cheek. That's not
just
one. Just one of them?
Just one.
How long did that take?
4, 5, 6 hours.
Really?
I gotta go back
Multiple artists or only
Nah,
one?
just one. Just the
'Cause
same one.
I heard whenever you're doing the full paint, that takes like long time.
Yeah, very long time.
And you don't have the biggest of cake, but
No.
I think there is at least enough of a slice where it takes a little time.
Yeah. It did take a while. Fell asleep during it, but very skilled artist.
So whenever like MGK gets that done, so that's just is it because they got to do this number here?
Yeah,
right?
You're just shading the whole time?
It's like paint by number. You're just
Cool.
like a coloring book.
I get that had to hurt so bad.
Yeah.
They have
All that
bigger
stuff.
ones that have like 4 or 5 needles, and it's just coloring it in.
Oh my gosh.
Scraping.
I love tattoos. I think they look really cool, but I haven't been able to commit to sitting down, being in pain for numerous hours.
Sure.
I just haven't been able
I thought
to.
you were gonna go to sleep.
Well, I don't want. If I take the drugs to knock me out, everybody call me soft. Still look cool though, but I guess the tattoo world would call me soft.
Who's
Yeah,
so-
that had to take so long.
That's aggressive. It's aggressive.
Yeah, that's the tattoo.
So my butt looks like.
Wow.
How about it? Look at the like.
Did you do the lines like that, or
No,
Is that, red is that a red tattoo on his head?
Yeah.
Or is that just like
Comanche war paint?
Or is that tattoo, or is it
permanently?
I think he tattooed that. He probably did that at the same time he did that sweet locals only one.
that had to hurt? That had to hurt so bad. All of this had to hurt so.
he
bad.
threw T-shirts out at a Cleveland Cavaliers game I was at last year?
How'd it go?
Great. He was sitting front row, and I saw him. Obviously, it's MGK. People were they're pointing and talking about him. Then he came out like at halftime and got the crowd all juiced up, threw a bunch of stuff in the crowd.
He stopped by SummerSlam. It was good to see him. Jelly Roll was there. MGK was there. Learn the road, take me home, take me home. Singing about West Virginia there. I like that. Speaking of West Virginia, a lot of stuff going on. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler's here.
Yes,
D-Butch went to UConn, which was in the Big East, so he has obviously seen what West Virginia could be. Whenever it's rolling. Basketball.
Sure.
Now the soccer team's good.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The baseball team's good. And the football team is in the middle of having to make a big-time decision. And by the football team, I mean the athletic director for West Virginia, Ren Baker. Now, I've been wearing West Virginia merch here today. Okay? Just to let people know that West Virginia is a massive part of this whole discussion about college ball going forward. I think whoever Ren hires is going to be great for West Virginia. But I do not know who is getting hired at West Virginia. I had friends of mine who are from West Virginia, officers that you guys all met whenever we went back there.
Yep.
Hey, heard you're coming to town tomorrow? Today. Heard you're coming to town tomorrow? Do you need anything? And it's like, what? Where'd you hear that? Then I'm getting texts from other people that are associated with West Virginia, not university, but just the state saying, heard a big day tomorrow. Heard a big day tomorrow. Heard it's happening on your show. Heard it's happening on your show. I'm like, really? Who the fuck? where are we all hearing this stuff from? Because I would like to know, because I'm allegedly a part of it. To let those people know, there's never been a conversation about me going back to Morgantown or having an announcement of any sort on this particular program, although would be open to it.
Sure.
Would be completely open to it. I have tried to remain as hands-off of the situation I could possibly be. Now, I am a money person at the school and also cover college football and happen to be a part of one of the biggest college football shows, probably the biggest college football show that has ever been created. So, obviously, I think Ren Baker has tried to be, respectful to me in the entire thing, and I've tried to return the favor to him just by staying out of it, And I have talked to a few people that are up for candidacy, about their entire thing, but I'm not sure a decision has been made, and if it has, I do not know about it, and it is not being announced on this particular program. Just clear the air there.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Have they reported anybody interviewing yet?
So it's all I don't think there's been any reporting. There's been speculation. And then when all these coaches get jobs other places, other jobs and people drop out, then all of a sudden, and I'm learning this about the college football world, now obviously there's only a few names. Allegedly this morning there was a report from Ollie Connolly.
Connolly, yep.
Sure.
Ollie Connolly.
OC.
Ollie Connolly, who covers college ball. He said that Bill Belichick has agreed to become the UNC head coach if they would accept how he would be as the head coach. And I guess he handed them 400-page something about how he would lay out a team. So if UNC accepts the terms, what Ollie was saying is that Bill Belichick would become the UNC head coach, which after talking to him yesterday, seems like he's ready.
Yeah.
Seems like he is. Yep. And obviously, Bill Belichick wasn't going to sign up for anything he wasn't prepared for.
Correct.
And obviously, he spent this year with his son being a defense coordinator in Washington when he was out there for training camp. He spent the year traveling around learning college ball, probably to help his son, but also to pique his interest about college football. And in the report, Ollie's and others, it's like Bill Belichick was called into a lot of college teams this year to come speak and giving tours, look around. Hey, this is how the game is played. And then whenever he's talking to athletic directors who are looking for advice from the greatest GM and the greatest coach of all time, and he talked to presidents of schools that are trying to find things, he learned the game, I think, in this last year. And it's like, you know what? I could do it, but this is how it has to be. This is from my learning, this is how it has to be. He could be phenomenal for that. I think his name getting added into the coaching cycle kind of threw a wrench into a lot of stuff too for people. So I think Jeff Monken is being talked about out of Army. I think that has been reported on the internet. And once again, I'm literally just following. Rich Rodriguez is in it.
Top of the list.
Should be.
No brainer. Mm-hmm. That's just me, though.
A lot of people are saying he was going to get announced as the head coach today on this show, or I was going to go to Morgantown and be a part of the announcement. And I was like, what did you hear? What did everybody hear? Because I did not. But I think everybody is very excited. I think everybody is, hey, we're wasting time here. Every day that passes, we don't have a head coach. Transfer portal is already open. Now, granted, we have a bowl game with an interim head coach and everything like that. And I think there's some players that are playing in the game, want to play in the game. So the current roster, I think is going to be intact for a bit, until bowl game ends or whatever. Although Trotter left, and I think he's going to get big money because he's a dog. But the transfer portal for other guys that you would potentially want in your building, that potentially changes some stuff. So I think there's a lot of excitement to get a decision made quicker. But I think Ren Baker is literally just trying his best to make sure he has a grasp of everything and what he wants to do. Now, could something just happen today? Maybe. Could an announcement come at any moment? Maybe. I'm not saying that is a possibility or not a possibility. I'm just saying I don't know. So I do appreciate whenever people say former West Virginia alum Pat McAfee says this, and it gets reported, and all these people that I'm following along with. Mm-hmm. It's I appreciate the respect and how nice people have been to me and how grateful West Virginia people have been for this particular platform talking about it and on game day talking about it and everything like that. That's very cool. I'm going to ride with West Virginia, but I think we're going to be good again. I think we're going to be great again.
Hell yeah.
I think there's a chance that I legitimately do. Just with what I'm hearing, everything else everybody's hearing, then listening to Bill Belichick talk and what teams win, what teams don't win, and I think we're going to be good. I'm in a very happy spot, okay. But I would like Ren to make the decision sooner than later.
He will. Mm-hmm. He has to. He knows that. Bill presented a 400-page thing. There's no way he handed that over to them. So here, this is for you guys to keep. No
Well,
way.
allegedly, he handed over a bunch of things to people this year. This one was suited directly for North Carolina.
Maybe.
So I wonder if he was like consulted on what you would change for places, and he typed it up.
Yeah.
400 pages.
It's a lot of pages, dude. Bill Belichick has agreed to become the UNC head coach. Belichick handed the school a 400-page organizational Bible with structure, payment plans, staffing choices, etc., decisions on whether to commit with UNC. He's expected to know their decision within 24 hours. Here's what I'm thinking. 400 pages.
Better start reading.
Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be a no then. That guy's going to get that and be like, okay, well, Bill, I can't read this whole fucking thing in 24 hours. So, sorry.
So
I guess I can't give it to you.
AD's name is Bubba, I believe. Right? I think he goes by the name Bubba. Because in the reporting, it was like
Bubba Cunningham.
Bubba is his name.
Great name.
Great name, Bubba. AD, I don't know, because he's talking to chancellors and presidents. AD, I assume, is thinking, like, is everybody on same? I wonder how.
I mean, I would have.
That's why the 400-page thing comes in, just so we all understand how this is going to go. I've thought about it. Yeah, this is how it's going to go.
The boosters got to be on the same page too, right?
So if they offered him the job?
Trustees, boosters, chancellor, I guess, athletic director.
Big donors.
I don't know if they've offered him the job, because if they offered him the job, that means he would have to accept it. I think maybe they offered, he redlined their offer. If it's like, if this is like this, I'll be your coach. Yeah. And they're like, okay, now we got to go through and see what we want to do. And it's like 24 hours is a hefty response time for 400 pages of structural analysis. Jesus Christ.
And that's the type of thing, like, you would have to read that very closely, because if there's something that comes up like 6 months from now that he gets super pissed off, he's like, well, that was on page 127. So
it's about a quarter of the way through that.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, they need to, that whole thing needs to be read.
379, that page. I don't know if they're going to be paying close enough attention to.
Probably not.
There's probably some real shit on there.
Vital. Shit's good, yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. What's this chapter here? Same? Got it.
Okay.
All right. All of a sudden, you're on page 300. It's like, well, where's the time?
Call him back.
There's a lot of mumbo jumbo in here.
What? I've talked a lot about how contracts and what I think they need to look like. You know, and you got to work here. You could only be who you can afford to be. You know, you can't always do that. We've been very fortunate to get to the point where we are. But some of these contracts that are presented in business are just like so absurd. Just the amount of if this, then this, if this, then this. And you got to check them off and read it through. And then it's all in words in mumbo jumbo that, like, you have to hire somebody else to translate for you and what it means. It's all, I'm not saying it. It's very important. It's all very important.
Of course.
But I'm a big, I ain't reading it if it's longer than 3-4 pages guy. Because it feels like anything past that, you're trying to screw me over here.
A ruse.
There's something that's going on in there.
Yeah. Any kind of deal there shouldn't have to be a 50-page contract between people.
But in this case, I think he's saying this is how.
This is the plan. This is the plan, what it will look like if I come here.
No stone unturned either.
Yeah.
The towels need to be presented in this fashion. Okay, they need to lay with the NC towards the lower left
I
corner.
guarantee you that's all in there. All that little stuff is in there. Bill had control of everything, I know, in New England. D-Buck can speak on that, but I know, like, everything ran through Bill, right?
Oh, yeah. He was clearly the boss.
Our equipment staff is going to be both a loop and bag operation. The loop will be used for the underwear. The bag will be used for the bigger items. We will utilize them in separate washers, separate dryers. They will never be together unless they are in the locker for each and every player. Imagine him writing that out in this AD reading going, Jesus.
Examples. Got like
whatever.
3 pages of like pictures of how.
I was wondering if there's pictures.
Yep.
Oh, it's definitely got to be pictures. Maybe
in practice, pictures. Yeah, D-Butt like shirts are going to be tucked in underneath your jerseys. All that little stuff will be in
sock height. But yeah.
This is how our practice field needs to be designed. We don't have a hill. I need a hill on the practice field. That is very vital to my success. So you need to get a construction company to come in here, bring some dirt. I need a hill on the backside facility. My office needs to be facing northeast. Okay? Whenever I'm an early riser, I like to see the sun rise. And at night, I like to know I'm in the dark. But I like to face north because, thank the Lord. What if all of that is it?
Oh, yeah. 400
pages. Good luck. Hope it works. That person, that attention to detail, though, probably has a plan.
Sure. No doubt.
And that is who you want for your gig. His pitch yesterday that we heard, I was in. I was like, all right, fuck it. I think it can work.
Oh, yeah.
He laid it out. I mean, Bill is an OG. He's a little up there in age. Maybe it's 400 pages. Maybe the font is just like 78.
Could be. That could be.
Maybe it's 400 words.
3 words a page.
Like
1,200 words.
18 pages.
Yeah, just like my daughter's books.
Yeah,
that I'm
like a
reading.
kid's book.
Llama, red pajama. Okay. Mama llama has a blue pajama. Okay. Boom. All of a sudden we're on page 8. That's what you're thinking?
Oh, yeah. Bubble fly through that 30 minutes.
I need Michael Jordan to make 4 appearances a year with our team. And that's a picture of Michael Jordan with the team. Like such.
That'd be awesome.
We're on page 7 now. Okay, let's get to chapter 3. What is it? The cleats we're going to use. I would like to design the cleats with Michael Jordan if need be. Boom. Playing surface. Oh, my God. The field.
Weather control.
The stadium.
Yeah, build a machine.
Didn't even think about the weather machine because they did have that up in New England. And remember, he kind of brought it up in like a mocky way.
He said, we can't control the weather. He said that on the show.
He basically confirmed it.
I'll tell you what, I am very happy that helicopter was a helicopter. Have we thought about that at all? I went to the bathroom during the break, and I just was like so thankful that was not just some random alien flying around, which was how it was presented to me here today.
Yeah, what's Senator talking about? That is the only thing.
Yeah, there's other things.
Yeah, I know that video for sure, but I just don't get what the Senator's talking about on the news.
Something's going on.
Let's keep our eyes to the sky, huh? And our hearts full. 'Cause
Always.
It's a holiday season.
We still don't have good footage.
Well, they say as soon as you get eyes on it, it's
Yeah, that's what the Senator's saying, yeah.
disappeared.
Yeah.
Everybody tells me to record it. I got my camera out.
Cloaking devices.
Oh, you think like invisible things?
Oh, yeah.
I saw that. The internet.
Who knows?
What was it?
Truly can't
Let's
know.
hash it out. What'd you
What?
Get to the bottom of it.
Nope, not gonna say it. Not gonna talk about it. Let's get out of here. We've done enough.
Do more research tonight.
Let's do a lot of research.
Remember it for tomorrow.
Remember, because the fog's out. Oh, no, it looks like we can see.
No, it's clear.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. It's nice now.
Sun came out.
Bill, what's the weather out there? Is it cold? 47. Bill might not have had the personality profile within 3 minutes of seeing that United Healthcare CEO execution video. Might be vastly different. Might be something none of us could have ever expected.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
What?
We'll never know.
We
the
will.
truth.
Why not?
We just won't.
I just saw another clip of him getting taken in. He's yelling something.
Yeah, they're putting him up against the wall too well, he's saying.
Still had the gun, right?
Weather.
Manifesto. What else?
All that
Bunch
cash.
of money.
Hash brown.
Yeah, muck and a hash brown, which respect.
Yeah, the hash brown was a good order.
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
Why didn't he just cut it like they used to do back in 2020? Just
Eat through the thing?
yeah.
I don't know, Ivy League guy, a lot of decisions. I mean, it's quite a quagmire.
Yeah,
It
need
is
more
a bit of a
information on that one
quagmire.
too.
It is quite a quagmire. Yeah, maybe we know too much or not enough. Every day we need to think and strive to be better than we were the day before.
Well said.
Tomorrow when we get back here, we're going to be better.
For sure.
Show might be worse, but we're going to be better.
JJ, what?
Holy shit.
No
Tomorrow?
AQ Shipley?
Alan Quash.
Oh my God. Wednesdays are some of the best days.
People are asking if AQ loves ball anymore.
Why is that?
Just some people were saying maybe he didn't watch the Penn State and the Big Ten championship.
Oh, you're saying we invite him to come watch it. Now, he got a chance to see a TV maybe. We had that crane. He knew.
Yeah, he probably did.
He knew
People are saying he maybe not even saw it on TV.
What? Did he have a crane in front of a TV?
All 22?
He watched the game right there.
Or he knew James Franklin.
He had to be
can't
proud
beat
of the
a top
effort.
5 team, so he just said, no bother.
Yeah,
They're not going to win, but they'll get in the playoff.
He's be top 4, right?
No.
One time.
One time, I think.
Hey, we're live. Jeez. Hey. Gumpy said you didn't watch the game on Saturday. I said, no, we invited him to watch in the suite. He couldn't do it. He said, no, you didn't even watch Penn State lose to Oregon in the Big Ten championship. That's what Gumpy said.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
He said he didn't watch it.
All I saw was videos of you dancing
Played
around
the
on
best game of
Saturday
his
night.
life. Just couldn't win. Refs
You got a
hosed
wedding?
us. What do you want us to do?
Hey, I don't know if it was the refs. You need not do that. It might have been a crane camera. Gumpy said he saw videos of you dancing around like a goof troop for 2 hours on Saturday night, not watching the game.
It's not true at all. I don't know what Gumpy's talking about.
Big
Don't
Ten
need to worry about the Miami
championship,
Dolphins
brother.
down there, all right? Just because they got a couple wins, just relax over there, bud.
Oh, he's firing shots back at you.
In
He's
the playoff
deflecting.
hunt, brother.
Watched everything. pumped. I was pumped with the way they play. They look like they belong.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. We're excited. You watched the game, though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching this game right now.
Cardinals,
These guys in
Seahawks.
the
He's
end
watching
zone?
film. He's watching film right now. Cardinals, Seahawks.
These guys stink.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, shit. All right. Okay. All right. See you.
Tom, we're excited for the Eagles and Ravens and Commanders and
Lions
and
Packers.
Seahawks might be in the trenches.
They ran for a ton of yards.
Yeah.
He just said these guys in the end zone stinking. He was pointing at the Cardinals defense. I think he's kind of felt that way a couple different times.
Uh-huh. Yeah, earlier in the year against the Commanders, yeah.
Is that Arizona team doing well?
Oh, that's
flaking out.
They made great strides, though, this year.
They did.
Better this year than last year.
On the up and up.
Yeah, NFC West, tough.
Very.
NFC West going to be tough. I trust Kyler going forward. Oh, Lamar Jackson, I completely forgot. He's back this weekend. First time.
Mm-hmm.
Tough D, though.
Tough game, yeah.
Yeah, tough game.
The Giants are dead.
He's going to run for 800.
They're
Nothing to lose.
They're worse than dead.
What is the spread on that early projection on the
37 maybe or something like that?
What do you think it is, AJ?
Who's got the first pick?
I mean, what is it, 12 maybe?
Got to be 14.
I'm seeing
14 and a half.
Okay. Jeez.
That's not enough.
Chiefs down to 4 already. Dropped 2.5
Against
points
the
in a
Browns?
day.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the Chiefs, Travis Kelce will be joining us later this week.
Okay. Nice.
He will be on Thursday in the. Oh, it's not confirmed. Not confirmed. This happened before. Shit.
There's
With him, too.
We don't know. We don't know if anybody's going to be on. Why not even think about doing that? Why not even think about doing that? What a stupid. If this ball goes in.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
He's on.
What?
No pressure.
You got it. Train it.
For the good of the program.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bucket.
Oh, too strong. Jesus Christ.
Oh, shit.
No chance. Too jacked up.
If the Chiefs are 4.5 point favorites against the Browns, and the Broncos are 4.5 point favorites against the Colts, what does that math equal out to?
Okay, please. There's no reason to do what you
Need
just
the Colts to get a dub against the Broncos. Keep the Finns alive.
Well, Colts need to stay alive, too, by beating the Broncos.
Tough schedule for the Colts coming up.
Well, yeah, if you're going to make the playoffs, it's going to be tough anyways. So
That's right.
lurk in the Colts.
I mean, every team we just named doesn't have a fucking chance, so who cares either way? We're at that point of the season.
Okay, Patriot guy.
Exactly. We're all the same, except for 4 or 5 teams.
Any given Sunday or Saturday.
That's true.
Or Friday night if they're playing on those days. Whenever.
Wednesday
Wednesday
Christmas.
afternoon.
We do get WAF on Christmas this year. WAF was a good time.
It was. It's going to be a great time this time, too. It's on Netflix.
It was a terrible game, but it was good.
No, but this is going to be a good game.
Both of them.
2 good games. Although the Texans might stink.
What?
Huh?
If you think the Texans stink, guess what that means for the Colts? We don't got to beat the Broncos.
The Texans might stink.
I'm tired of hearing about player safety, too.
What's that?
3 games in 10 days. Player safety. Okay.
Oh, you're talking about Steelers.
Sign them up on Christmas. Yeah, let's trot them out there. I feel bad for these guys.
I mean, it's not like tough teams, though.
What?
Who you guys playing?
Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles, Ravens, and Chiefs.
Oh, okay.
See if you can get
Tough little stretch. Tough stretch.
See if you can get Mo Sizlak off the waiver.
He knew what he was doing. I knew
Well
what
played.
he was doing.
Nice delivery. Good delivery.
That's a tough 10 days.
Yeah. Tough stretch.
That's a
Jeez.
tough 10 days. All be on Hard Knocks.
That's right.
All be on Hard
Then
Knocks.
we're going to
And make
say,
'em
oh, what's
tougher.
wrong with Pittsburgh?
All without George
They can't
Pickens,
beat
too.
the big boys.
That
What's
will
going
happen.
on in Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh
will happen.
Steelers fans, enjoy Hard Knocks tonight because the next few weeks might not be great.
What are you talking? You don't have faith.
I do have faith.
No, you don't.
I said might not.
Diggs.
You're not. Oh, mama. Right now. You're not doing that. You're not doing that.
Brett
Right.
Michaels wouldn't say
I think
that.
they win 2.
2 out of 3.
That's great option.
2 wins in 10 days is also pretty sweet to say. Now, could have had 3, but if you just keep it at 2 wins in 10 days, that's a good spin, too.
Yeah.
That's all stocking stuff around Christmas.
Can't go 0 for 3.
Yeah, even if you get 1, I think you're all right. You just can't
Yeah.
lose all 3.
Yeah.
They clean sweep. They're damn near the 1 seed, yeah.
Yeah, they are. They would be, right? Because they would only have 2 losses?
I don't know what
No,
the
we have
Bills.
Oh, you have 3 losses? Got it. So you would need the Chiefs to lose another one. Then you would need to beat them straight up.
Yeah, the Brownies this week.
Browns 4.5-point dogs.
Bills have the Lions this weekend. That's a nice one. That's a fun one.
Lions. How long are the Lions going to be able to be what they are.
Just got to score points. That's all that matters at this point. Don't
Anzalone.
worry about the defense.
Anzalone's coming back.
Yeah, we are
say.
getting a bunch of guys back, too, which
Yeah.
is very helpful. Decker will be back.
So they'll get healthy at the right time. If
Good
Why
for
would
the
they
Lions.
stop? Why would they stop being who they are, though? For real.
What are you talking about?
I mean, I feel like they're kind of. We know that like their identity is set. We know like they're a contender. They're one of the handful of teams that can win it all.
Yeah, but there for a bit, we were wondering if the defense was going to be able to hold up, and then we found out quickly, like, oh, shootouts. That's what the Lions are. So not only are they back, they're also awesome to watch.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And
Maybe
that's why
Anzalone doesn't come back yet. Maybe we make sure until he's 100% healthy.
And that's why they go for it on every single fourth down, because offense is going to win the game no matter what.
Is Jack Campbell still man in the middle?
Jack
Yes, he
Campbell leads the team in tackles almost
and it
every
doesn't
single
matter.
game.
He's
He's
a
so
dog.
good.
He's a dog.
He is.
You knew it.
From day one.
Let's get out of here. Be your friend, tell a friend something nice might change your life. We're in this thing together. Great work today, AJ. You really crushed it. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Good night.